Hey, what is going on, everybody? You already know it's Thursday. It's 6 p.m. That can only mean one thing. It's the NFL Weekly Pickem Show, where one of the hosts is kicking ass and the other one is, well, you know what it is. But, hey, my name is Paul Spencer. That is Dan Connor. And we got Dan over there. We got Dave Yarnell, special guest. He did pretty good, so he's back on the show. What's going on, Dave? What's going on, Dan?
Not much.
Oh, Dave, I'm sorry. I unmuted you there. Okay, there we go. Was that Dave? I'm sorry.
I said, hey, guys, how's it going?
We're doing
pretty
well.
Good. Season
good to see everybody. Wow, it's good to be back again, guys. Yeah, it's good to be back.
First, how are we dealing with the snow where you guys are at? My back is kicking my ass because I've been shoving them for the past week. How about you?
No snow here. No, just rain.
We got like 2 inches of snow, maybe 3.
Jeez. Oh, Dave,
rain and wind. Yep. No snow here. We're
That's
good.
it.
Well, whenever
I don't got a shovel. I live in an apartment complex, so I don't got to do anything.
You know what's funny? Dan,
I haven't shoveled either, Dan, so it's all good.
You guys are lucky.
I can't tell you the last time I picked up a shovel.
I couldn't tell you either.
I'll tell you what, you guys are lucky because when I lived in when I lived in Philadelphia, we had the row home, and it was just like one little sidewalk, 15-foot sidewalk, and that was it. Here,
get buried.
Holy shit! Now,
Dan, don't jinx me because we're doing really well here.
Well, it's supposed to be really cold, like.
Cold and windy coming up. Yeah, yep.
Well, you know what? Hey, if you guys want some snow, let me know. I'll pack it and send it your way. Whatever.
Nah, you can keep it. We're doing just fine.
Because I ain't going out in the snow, so I don't got to shovel any of it. So I
don't. Eileen checking in says all my favorite hosts in one place. Thank you, Eileen. We appreciate that.
What's up, Eileen? How you doing, girl?
But I told you guys off camera. I went up to Pittsburgh and I came home and I was like, Dave, you know how I am with my car. I love my car no matter craziness. But
I you love your car more than your wife.
Don't say that, Dave.
I'm kidding. I'm
sure I'm dead. But when I came home, my car was white, of course, and it was like black when I came home. It was so dirty from all the the sleet and everything. I'm outside cleaning my car in like 30-degree weather. My neighbor looks outside. He's like, hey, Paul, it's 30 degrees outside? I'm like, yeah, I know. He's like, you're cleaning your car? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I understand like spraying your car down, but you're actually down there scrubbing it. I'm like, yeah. But all right, let's get to this, guys. Enough talk about the weather here.
30 degrees, he's scrubbing his car, Dan. I don't know.
Well,
crazy.
You have to, man. You got to keep the car clean. Sexy girls, what you want on your side. Right?
Did you ever hear of a car wash?
Now, Dave, you know what? I have that. What the hell is that called? Ceramic tile? Not ceramic. It's a ceramic finish on my car. So I don't like going through. I like doing it myself because I only use a certain kind of wax, certain kind of
cleaner.
You. I'd rather if I could do it. If I could save myself $20, I'll do it my damn self, Dave. You know what I mean?
There you go.
And St. checks in say, hey Danny, maybe I'll help you win Pickems next year since most likely the room Pickems league.
Oh, that's first the spread too.
That's what I want to do too. Next year. I want to actually do.
I'll do a versus. I'd rather do a versus spread. I was horrible this year.
Okay, let's do next year. You know what? How about we do the spread next year? All right, I love picking the spreads too because that's what I bet, of course. So how about next year we do the spreads too? How about we do that?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, I'm cool with that.
I'm fine with that.
All right. Well, you know what? Hey, last week, hey, we all actually had a pretty good week. We actually did. Okay. So here's what we did last week. Here's our thing. Dan, well, you didn't do too good. Dan, you got 9. Okay. Dave, you got 11. And I think I didn't even put mine up there. I think
of course the Giants kicked the crap out of the Eagles.
I got 12.
Who called that, Dan? Who said that? No, I think it was me.
You did. All right.
But they didn't have 2 receivers and Hurts half the game. So.
Hey.
True.
All I know is I was at the Washington-Dallas game, and my daughter says to me at halftime, she says, Dave, she goes, Dad, it's 24-0 Giants. I was like, what? I had no idea, Dan. I got to be honest. I didn't even scoreboard watch.
I had the same reaction, so.
I tell you what, I wasn't even watching the game. I was like,
and I was thinking of you, Dan, to be honest, because I knew you were smiling on this. You had to be. Come on.
I don't know. I had 2 games on, and then I was watching a college basketball game. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to watch the college basketball game. I'm going to go right to the Cowboys game. I'm not going to screen watch this Eagles game. And then I was like, you know what? Okay, it's kind of iffy here for the Cowboys being in the first quarter. I'm not sure what's going on here. So I flipped over to the Eagles game. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. 17-0? Okay.
I said the same thing. I had no idea. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I was kind of puzzled about that one. But listen, let's get into this game here. Okay?
Okay.
Let's talk about this. Okay, guys. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Wait, did somebody
I don't know.
Somebody missed my screen a little bit. All right, let's talk about the games that we did not win. Okay, the games that we kind of disagree on. The Bengals. I told you guys the Bengals were going to win this game, didn't I?
I think you said that. Yeah.
Well, if Flacco was in for the Browns, Browns might have won.
I get that. I know that, but we had to look at who's playing her versus.
But also, the Browns didn't need the game. So
no, they didn't.
Should have picked the Bengals.
No, they didn't need the game. No,
they didn't need the game. That's why I had to go there. I had to go there because the Bengals, like, you know what? Hey, let's. You know what? Before I want to say something real quick. Did you guys watch any of that game last week? But the Bengals and Cleveland Browns.
Bengals Browns. I didn't see much of it. No, can't say that.
A little bit.
Okay, the only thing I took away from that game was someone wasn't playing in the game. They were in the press box during this game. If you get a chance, you need to go check this out, okay?
One of the players?
It wasn't a player. It was a player's girlfriend.
Oh, player's girlfriend.
What is the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals? What is his name?
Browning.
Jake Browning.
Jake Browning, yeah.
You guys need to go look at this game. Or just go on there and type in Jake Browning's girlfriend. She wore this white skin tight jumpsuit, and she had, you know what? It's all over Twitter. It says, you know what the hell with Taylor Swift? We have Browning's girlfriend. This girl they showed her. I swear, it is like an NFL meme now.
And she was in a press box.
Yeah, well, you know what? The funny thing is, it wasn't her press box or Browning's press box. You know whose press box it was?
I have no idea.
No, it was Joe Burrow's family's press box.
Wow.
So that number one was respect, giving him, the courtesy to have his family, Browning's family in there, all the friends.
Right.
But when they showed her, I think my mouth dropped.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was insane. It was insane. But we won't spend much time on the games here. But what I want to talk, another game too, is you guys got me. I took the Bears. You guys took Green Bay. I wasn't really, I didn't know here. Bears were playing great. Packers were playing for a spot. I should have took them.
Yeah, that's why I picked them.
Yeah, but what do you guys think? About this Green Bay team? Are they for real?
Hard to say.
I would say they're for real, but they're definitely a solid football team. I would say.
I agree with that.
They found their answer at quarterback. I'm pretty positive.
I just think Love's getting hot in the last few games. I'm not sold on them, but I don't think their defense.
Playoffs, but
no, I don't think their defense is all that great, but their offense has been pretty solid lately. I mean, Aaron Jones is running the ball really well.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that I think, Dan, I agree with you 100%. I think they found their quarterback for the future. They don't have to finally draft another quarterback for the roster here.
Yep.
Jordan Love is the answer. I think now so. Maybe you give him a couple more weapons, maybe a little bit of offensive line help. He's proven to me, like, okay, I sat the clipboard. I sat behind Rodgers. Nobody said I was going to be that good. You know what? Now's my time. I proved you wrong. Nobody thought I was making the playoffs after Aaron Rodgers left. Lazard left, Cobb left, all these players left. Nobody thought it. Well, you're in the playoffs. Congratulations.
I should have a solid season, but I don't think they're doing that.
Well, they won the last 4 or 5 games in a row, something like that.
4 in a row, something like that. Yeah.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
All right, Dave. You know what, Dave? It's your time. I'll let you gloat. Go ahead. Giants, Eagles.
I don't know. It was my pick of the week. It was my lock of the week, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was.
It was.
Yeah, I think I said that. No, just the Eagles losing 4 out of 5. Losing 5 out of 6, or just they're not looking like the Eagles of old. Giants had something. I said Giants because the first time they played them, Tyrod Taylor did pretty well that second half. So to me, him starting that game was only a pickup from the first game. So he stepped up and he looked pretty good. So the Giants, and plus a lot of times when you play your division, you do go split. So I thought that maybe that was why.
They went 3-3 in the division. I'm happy about that.
Yeah. Right. And
it does help when Devontae Smith doesn't play. You know what I mean? And
sure. I mean, that's a big, huge. I mean,
But Dan, I'll ask you real quick. What going into this game here, when you seen the Giants come down and go up 7-0, what were your thoughts, honestly? Because draft pick versus okay, you know what? It's a motivational thing here. Beating the Eagles last game of the season to maybe bounce them out of the NFC crown. NFC East crown itself. But how did you feel when they were up 7-0, 10-0, 17-0, 24-0?
I only knew they dropped one spot from 5 to 6, no matter what. So I didn't really care at that point. If they were going to drop different 4 or 5 spots, then that's different. But the the lowest the lowest they're going to go was 6.
Agreed.
If they won. So it feels good to beat the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good. Sterling Shepard's last game in his career is a win. He's retiring. So, it's a good win for them. It's something they could probably maybe build off of,
Agreed.
Even though a lot of different players will probably be here, but I'm definitely happy we beat the Eagles.
I mean,
the pick
not only did you beat the Eagles, Dan, but you won a division game too. That's huge. That's huge.
Going 3-3 divisions not terrible considering how bad of a season they had.
It's 500, Dan. It's not bad.
So.
But there is a team that you didn't win a game against, of course, this year. That was the Dallas Cowboys, of course. Dan, sorry, I had to say that.
Blown off twice. That's why I'm glad. That's why I'm glad Wick Martindale's gone.
We'll talk about that.
I was going to ask you about that, Dan. What was your take on that?
We'll talk about before we get to next.
Okay, my fault. Go ahead.
Let's get to these games here. The other game that I actually skipped over, Dan. You took the Ravens there, buddy.
Yeah.
No Lamar, no Lamar.
I should have taken the Ravens or the Browns. So, but I guess I was looking to gain on you, so I'm like, all right, I'll take the,
Well, that's
what I'm saying. Like, you never know with a division game,
right?
Really. Of course. I know Lamar Jackson's out, but you never know. So,
the reason why I had to take Pittsburgh, we do the same thing.
They've been playing well.
Yeah, we look at other games and you know what, I got to take this game to get a bigger lead on Dan. I have to do some of the games, but some works out, some don't. And the other thing is Pittsburgh was playing for that. They needed that playoff win. Well, that win
the game.
plus help too.
Exactly.
And they got it. So I had to take, the guy that has something to play for versus the team that's less.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like sometimes I really should have taken them because they have nothing to play for. Also, really, the Ravens that is Ravens, Browns. There's no point. But good for Pittsburgh. They got some help. That's a good season. Remember, everyone was like, "Oh, Mike Tomlin's in trouble." Nope, and they made the playoffs.
Yep.
Another season above 500 for him.
What's funny about Pittsburgh? They have that Pickens kid, right? That really good receiver.
He had that.
Right?
Remember, he had that. What did he do? He had like a bad game or a bad drop or something.
Yes.
Something happened. Then he was ridiculous after that.
Exactly.
A huge game the next week.
Who are you talking about? Pickens?
Yes.
Pickens.
Yes.
No, the week after.
Well, Pickens hasn't been the greatest all year, but
what a wild card that kid is. I don't understand him.
The past 4 weeks, he's been better.
Oh, but the thing is, what set that off was remember the no block. Remember the no block situation.
Yes. Yeah.
After that, you know what? Maybe that lit a fire under his ass and saying, what?
He's like, wait, what the hell am I doing? I need to really step it up, and he stepped it up.
Honestly, I think it was that too, but I think how Tomlinson, he's that coach that'll get in your ass and burn you. You know what I mean? Let you know. He don't
will.
But he gave him another chance.
He did, and I think that was like not a locker room situation. I think that was a come on in, George, close the door. Let's talk for a second. We took you in the first round. You know what? You could be the franchise face of this team. You need to man up here. You know what? Don't ever let me see you miss a block like that, or not miss a block, or you know what? Not miss a block.
No, it's
carry out a block, a block, and then go on Twitter and actually say, "What am I blocking for? I didn't want to get injured." That's your brother that you didn't block for, number one. And I think that's where Tomlin lit a fire under his ass because the last 3 games of the season, dude, almost 200 yards, 140, and almost 100 again. He's lighting it up. He's lighting it up now.
Like I said, he's a wild card. You don't know what one game he'll have bad, and then he'll have 3 good ones. He
had the talent in college. Coming out of college, he had the talent. I mean, it's just what effort you put forward. I mean, you could be the greatest athlete in college, and if you don't want to give a damn God-given talent versus effort, I'll take effort all day long. You know what I mean?
As long as the effort's there, you may not have the best talent, but always make an effort. Don't half-ass it ever.
Agreed. UConn says Bills will sodomize Pittsburgh. We'll get into that. I agree with that 100%. Linda checking in. What's going on, Linda? How you doing?
Linda, how are you, girl?
Definitely. What's going on? All right, let's talk about the other game here. You guys got me. I took the Broncos. I'm thinking, you know what? Okay, you know what? Sean Payton wants to make a statement here to Russell Wilson being benched. Boy, was I wrong. Jesus.
And the Raiders have been playing well.
They have.
Yes, they have. They really have. I mean,
with Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
So I thought the Raiders were going to win the game because they were just playing much better.
Dan, is he a motivator or what? I mean, my God, Pierce is just gets those guys rolling, doesn't he?
Pierce is a motivator, but Antonio Pierce knows what it takes to win a title. He knows what it takes to win a Super Bowl.
Agreed.
He knows he's a really great defensive mind as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely a motivator because he was our middle linebacker. He was our quarterback of our defense. Super Bowl run. So
Dan, before we move,
that's why I like him. That's why I like him, Dan. I'm a fan.
I love Antonio Pierce.
I'm a fan.
We'll get to some of the big topics, of course. Antonio Pierce is going to be one of the questions I got for you, Dan. Of course, we'll get into that after we, our picks for next week.
Yep.
I do have a couple of things I want to talk about. Belichick. I want to talk about, Antonio Pierce, a couple coaching opportunities. But let's move on through here. Kansas City. Finally, Kansas City actually won a damn game here. They didn't need to win the game. They had locked up. But my question is, God, how bad are these Chargers?
Chargers are really,
they're bad.
Really bad. Did they fire their coach?
Yes, they did. The head coach.
So
he's gone.
So they're like, their defense is not good. No Herbert versus the Chiefs, even with
Blaine Gabbert or something like that, whatever his name.
Like with Blaine Gabbert, like the Chiefs, I just thought we're going to win this game. San Diego's like just
wow.
They're gonna to. They have wide receivers, but they're gonna build around Herbert. They're gonna have to totally rebuild around him.
We'll talk a little bit about drafting too. Me and Bill Furman were talking about it, where possibly somebody could fall. I think there's one player that could go there. Arguably the best player in the NFL draft. I think they do take him as a weapon coming up. But let's move on here. Now, last week I did give you 2 locks of the week. I'm just going to talk about the first one here. The Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts. This was one of my lock of the weeks here, guys. Houston Texans.
Yep, and they go to the playoffs.
They are a winner. I mean, this game
won
had
the division too.
Yes.
I think.
Now this game had implications, of course. Could win a division. Possibly it was one of those games, as well as Jacksonville as well. That game had to go a long way too. This AFC South had to win, get help, not get help. Play who's in front of you. Let it decide the way it did. Houston is a different team under DeMarco Ryans. C.J. Stroud is a difference maker, and this defense can play ball. Because Ryans has this team playing some ball right now.
Well, he's a defensive mind, so that doesn't surprise me that DeMarco Ryans has them playing good defensively. He probably puts his input into that defense, being the type of coach he is. And I think that, the division was good this year. And the Colts also had a solid year.
They did.
We'll talk about one thing. We'll mention it right now. Talk about 2 rookie head coaches right here. For the Colts, what is it? Steichen, of course, and then you have DeMarco Ryans here.
Well,
listen, you
and he had to change quarterbacks in like the middle a couple of times.
Think about that, Dan. Think about that. When we were doing the show, the beginning of the season here, we talked about Anthony Richardson, going number 4 in the draft, prototype quarterback, great size, great mobility. He needed to learn to fall down,
he
slide.
Got hurt, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was going to say, he got injured, didn't he? He's injured.
But who would have thought you take Gardner Minshew and he takes you to the playoffs?
Tear an ACL, or was it like a broken?
No, I think it was. Wasn't it the shoulder? Wasn't it the shoulder?
I think it was the shoulder.
That might not be too terrible.
No, he'll be back next year. But think about it: when you take Gardner Minshew, a backup for a reason, through Jacksonville, through the Eagles, and he takes you to the playoffs under a rookie head coach.
Played well.
That's something.
Well, Minshew is made a player from. Minshew went to the.
Oh, he's been around a while, Paul. My God, he's been in the league a long time.
Yeah,
so,
but didn't he go to the AFC tailgame with the Jags?
He did. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So he has the experience, especially in the playoffs, and I like Minshew. The Colts pretty solid under Steichen this year.
Yeah,
and that's what I mean about Steichen, though. I know he went to the the playoff game there, but when you have a rookie head coach that comes in with a system, Dan, if I came in here and say, Dan, we're going to do it this way, you know what? Okay, I just lost Dave by starting QB. Well, Dan, you know what? I got you as my quarterback here on the Minshew. Am I going to run the same offense for Richardson? No. I give him so much credit. I give him so much credit for saying, okay, well, Richardson's a runner quarterback first, looks to throw the ball. If it's not there, break down, go. Minshew's not. Totally 180 from vanilla to a different playbook here. Steichen, you know what? I'll tell you what, one hell of a job so far, brother.
I totally agree. He's doing a great job out there.
You always like coaches that know that and know they have to adjust and they have no choice.
Exactly.
Some teams don't do that. They try to run their same offense, which doesn't make any sense. Doesn't fit the player. Yeah, but Colts had a really good year. Another team I'm disappointed with is the Jags.
Well, let's how about we jump to that game, because we all took the other 3 Saints and the Lions there. How about we move down to that Tennessee game? The other lock of the week, Tennessee Titans, Jacksonville. Dan, you go ahead, because I don't know what the hell's going on with Jacksonville. That's why
take it away, Dan.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know if it's they're missing a piece, a skill thing. Is it Lawrence?
I think it's Lawrence, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
they're very disappointing this year. I think very disappointing season.
I mean, they started off strong too, Dan, this year. I mean, they did start off strong, and then they just
but maybe if Lawrence isn't fully healthy, that ankle, that could have something to do with it. It's possible. If he was fully healthy, maybe it would have been different. But they just didn't play well at all.
I mean,
in all cases.
Is it Doug too? Was it Doug this year? Was it
I don't
coaching?
think it has to do with coaching as well. I mean, they just got their ass kicked.
Yeah.
And when you're fighting to get in the playoffs and for the
division, I mean, division too. They were fighting for, weren't they?
The funny thing is they had a 3-game lead on the division, and
that's what I'm saying.
The last 6 weeks. You think about that. But Dave, you said, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
What's his name? Lawrence going down is why probably. If he doesn't go down, they probably make the playoffs.
I think so too.
Okay, you're saying Lawrence. Dave, I'm going to ask you, why are you saying Lawrence? I understand, Dan said the injury.
Well, I think the injury has something to do with it. But if you watched him, his play went down. Like he wasn't playing like he was in the very beginning of the season.
It's not easy a high ankle sprain.
No, it's not. But let me ask you guys this. Okay, last year they were a contending playoff team. Okay,
yes,
they were a contending playoff team under Peterson. Great coaching, great quarterback play. But I'm going to ask you, watching so much college football at Clemson, I call him Sunshine. He was a great player.
Sunshine.
But when he comes to the NFL, it's a different breed here. Has he been figured out in a way? Put aside the injury. Put aside that injury.
Maybe.
Has he been figured out? Because to me, I don't want to use the word bust, because Dave, last night I told you, if you make it to the NFL, kudos to you. You're something special. But to me, Sunshine is not what Sunshine was in college. I don't know if it's the ankle. I don't know if it's the quarterback play versus what he's doing. I don't know what it is, honestly.
Shane says the ankle. He doesn't know he's fully healed with the ankle. That's what I think it could be.
But then again,
play.
Yeah, but then again, how many glimpses before the injury where he's had a 3-pick game versus
he's been up and down? Yeah, he's definitely been up and down for sure.
Yeah,
maybe the offense they're trying to run doesn't fit him as good as whatever they were running in the past.
Well, I tell you what, he has the weapons. He has the damn weapons out there.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I mean, a lot of times what do we say as a quarterback? Hey, you know what? You look at these quarterbacks for New England. You don't give them weapons. We see that. No weapons ever. Well, you know what? Everybody says give them weapons. Justin Fields, you know what? You got more this year. You played a little bit greater. This year, well, you know what? Trevor Lawrence, you have Etienne. You have Ridley. You have these.
Ridley. I was going to say Calvin Ridley is a big.
You have these guys. You have these guys.
Yeah.
You had these guys. Yeah. What is it? The O-line. So I do say it's a 60-40 split
defense.
Injury.
That could be. I don't know how a team like that started so strong, and then all of a sudden, like you just saw them dying like week by week. Like something wasn't right.
But week 18, they were just like dead in the water from the
start. Yeah, it was weird.
No fire, no fight. It's like they laid down.
And you know what the funny thing is? I know Derrick Henry was playing for his little thing, his speech after "Thank you Tennessee, thank you for all that." But when Derrick Henry doesn't do anything for the entire season, the last week of the season, he looks like freaking fountain of youth Derrick Henry and runs all over your asses. You know what I mean? That's a problem with the defense right there. That's a problem.
Yep.
What's going on, Foster?
Hey, Foster, how's it going?
Foster, what's up?
Good. Guys, listen,
thanks for checking in.
Yeah, listen, I checked out his podcast, man. I'll tell you what, you guys want to talk about some Bears, go check out Foster's podcast, man. I tuned in a little bit, and much appreciation. He said out of the box on there. I appreciate that. It's a great podcast, so you guys go check that out. Definitely do it.
I think I will. I'll go check it out.
Awesome intake. I know they're not in our division, of course, but listening to other divisions, it gives you an insight of what their perspective, what they see,
and they're in a great spot.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I want to hear, I want to actually message Foster what he thinks, because Foster, I think you guys take Marvin Harrison, you stun the world, and you drop down, you take an O lineman at 10, either Alt or Fanchua out of Penn State. I think you shock the world there. Or if not, the offensive lineman's not there, brother, do what the Eagles did. Stockpile draft picks for next year. That's what I'm saying. We'll see.
I think everybody's interested where Marvin's going to go. That's the.
Hey, listen, when you're the best player in the draft, but the only problem is you're a wide receiver. You never take.
That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's going to understand where he's going to land.
I think he'll be top 10, but I don't know if it'll be top 5. It depends on who trades up.
I'm not thinking top 10 either, Dan. To be honest with you, I think it's like maybe 7 or 8.
Well, but wide receiver is not as highly valued as a lot of other positions. So I haven't looked at the draft board, so I don't know. But let's talk about the Jets game. I expected the Jets to beat them. The Patriots offense is horrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, I was kind of drawn on that game because Belichick, is he out? Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but was he going to be out? Prior to this game, I thought they would play a little bit better, but man, the Jets, man, they got a solid defense, and
the defense is great, man.
Yeah,
they are good. They are really good.
I want to look at next year when they come because they have that top 10 draft pick, of course. Where they go with that one, I don't think they're going to take a quarterback, or do they take a quarterback just to back up, or do they say this? Okay, Rodgers.
Is Wilson in his last year of his contract this year?
I think he is, Dan. I'm pretty sure.
I think his 4-year contract is up this year. But
this is what I think they're going to do. They're going to release. They're not going to sign him. They're going to take quarterback.
Dan, this is what I want to ask you guys real quick before we move on. Okay,
if someone falls, a Penix, a Daniels, someone falls, the Jets might take them.
Possibly.
That's true too. Now let me ask you this. Okay, let me ask you this. Aaron Rodgers, we know he's ready to come back. He's so ahead of schedule here. He should be.
Of course he's coming back, obviously. But
he comes back.
He's not going to be your quarterback 2 years from now.
No, but here's the thing. Okay, that window of the New York Jets, if you went to Aaron Rodgers, what is it? Win now, correct? Win now. We built this team
next year is probably the year you're aiming for. If Rodgers has a solid season, like he's capable of, yes.
Okay, but here's the thing.
But you want someone just in case.
Right, but here's the thing. Season. We always talk about win now, the win now window, right? You have 1 or 2 years with Aaron Rodgers, right?
It's probably 3 years from now.
So, but do you do this? Do you go out and say, Rodgers, we know you're going to sign 2 years to win next year. If we don't win next year, it's going to be that year to win next year. You have a 2-year window there. Let's go out and get the best player that can suffice this. The defense is nasty. We know that.
Offensive line.
We have Garrett Wilson, okay? Let's go out and get I'm going to throw a name out there. Malik Neighbors, LSU.
The wide receiver?
Yes.
Well, Malik Neighbors is talented. Actually, some people talk about the Giants taking him at 6.
He's nasty.
Neighbors is probably one of besides Harrison, he's a really good wide receiver, really good talent.
You put him opposite than Garrett Wilson? Come on, are you serious? Think about that.
You're giving Rodgers weapons, that's for sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you want to win now, or do you want to say, you know what? Okay, just like Dan said, I can see them getting a quarterback. I do.
Hold on.
It says the legend of Zach Wilson is he's under contract. But I think he's gone next year. I think they released him.
The legend of Zach Wilson.
Just a line before wide receiver. That's what I was talking about.
That's true. But okay, if they do that, think about it. They go there, they get Fanshawe or Joe Alt, that franchise left tackle player. That's fine. You could do that. I get that. That's a possibility. If they do that, I agree with that 100%. I don't think they go defense. To me, it's either that weapon for Rodgers next year opposite the Garrett Wilson, or yes, 100% offensive lineman, because you got to protect your quarterbback. Because
quarterback, it wouldn't shock me. It's a surprise, but it wouldn't necessarily shock me.
But Dan, there's quarterbacks in this draft that are looking to drop. Now, I'm hearing Penix might drop in his quarterback draft because of the injury that he had. Of course, we know the 2 ACLs to Indiana, goes to Washington, plays 2 years.
But I have a question about Penix. Like, I don't think I could judge Penix based on the Michigan game. That defense is sick.
I agree with that.
I think if McCarthy was on Washington, he would have a hard time also.
How many
Penix at all?
Oh, wait a minute. Time out. How many passes did Washington drop in that game? My God.
Like 6, 5.
At least.
Well, there was 14. There was 14-point swing there on 2 drop balls. One roam on a busted play where he overthrew. That never happens. That never happens with Michael Penix.
The touchdown that wide receiver, I thought he had wasn't the best throw, but the wide receiver should have just kept running and not turned around.
Yeah, he broke off his route. He broke off his route 100%. But I can see them. But let's move on here. Now let's talk about this other game here. Okay. Dave, what the hell happened to your Arizona Cardinals coming off that big win there? You took the Cardinals here, Dave. What the hell was wrong with you there?
I don't know. I can't answer that one. With them getting hot against the Eagles, I thought maybe, the next week they would continue that. But
once again,
that was a fluke. It was playing like crap.
Yes. But going into this game, Dan, once again, we always talk about, hey, you have something to play for. Seattle has something to play for, even though they didn't get help where they were. They needed help,
but they still had something to play for at the time. Exactly. I think it was an early game, too.
Exactly.
Oh,
All right.
But at the end of the day, Seattle's not in the playoffs, so it is what it is.
Yeah, you know what?
You kind of won. I think it's my friend Bo Sox says, an offensive tackle, 6th overall. Which one, I'm not sure.
Okay.
To me, it really depends. I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with Fanshawe or Alt. You can't go wrong with that.
Not at all.
You know,
nope.
Dan, I know we talk about a lot off camera. Which one do you want? You know, with the 6th pick there, do you want to go Fanshawe or do you want to go Alt?
I don't think Alt's going to be there.
I think he will be. I think he's going to be dropped.
If Alt's there, I'll take him. I would take either, but I probably want Joe Alt. Fanshawe's good, but I probably want Alt. I think.
Well, let me ask you this: do you want to run the ball better with the Giants, or do you want to pass block better? Then you got to take Alt. Alt is that guy.
Both, but Alt could pass block, but both. But their run blocking was atrocious this year.
Then to me, you know, being a fan watching all Joe Alt's games this year, I think Alt suffices you better because he is a run blocking madness. Because 90% of the plays,
he's a tackle, right?
Yes,
right, and he would play a right tackle, obviously.
Right, and 99% of the runs from Aldrich Estime were off Joe Alt's side there. So I think that's a great scheme for you guys if you guys go there. I really do. Yep. All right, let's go on here. Do we need to talk about this Dallas game? I don't think we do, honestly.
I don't think we do. Talk about Dallas game. I knew they were going to get their ass kicked. The Tampa Bay game, we knew Tampa Bay was going to win. They had something to play for.
Yes.
Sure.
So there's really not much to hold on. We gotta hold on. Alt was converted from tight end.
Yes, you know what? Funny, I'm a huge Notre Dame.
Sliding right tackle, no problem.
Being a huge Notre Dame fan, they brought him in. They said he would be going back like a Michael Mayer. They compared to him even before he made that transition move. But I tell you what, this dude's a specimen. I think this dude is nasty.
It'd be a slam dunk pick if the Giants took him.
I agree. So I think there's 1A, 1B, and you can flip them back and forth between Fanshawe and Alt. I like Alt because I watched all of his games this year, but I think depending on scheme, that's why I asked you, Dan, if you want to run the ball.
UConn won.
Yeah.
He's a Notre Dame fan.
Oh, there we go. There you
go. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Listen. I'm gonna propose an opportunity for you right now. I'm gonna write the contract. The imaginary contract is written right here. Let me write it real quick. I already got it right here. Next season, the Golden Dome podcast every Saturday, 11 a.m. UConn, you and I'm ready for you. I got the contract written here. You know, there we go.
This is a great comment. Long suffering.
Brother, don't remind me since 1988, okay? Please don't. A Cowboy fan and a Notre Dame fan, brother, it's been long.
Way too long.
Dave, we talk about being a Cowboys fan 29 years, okay?
29 years.
What? With the Irish here, it's been 36 years since our last national title. Okay?
Wow.
36.
Been that long since Notre Dame? Wow.
They'll make it every year, probably.
Well, now with the BCS going to 12, you're definitely going to get in because it's power conference, and you're not in.
They'll get in. Sure, they will. Absolutely.
You're not in the plus, everybody has to have Notre Dame. It's name recognition, you know. So,
all right, what game is next? Saints, Falcons.
Which way? Where are we at? We got
Saints. We do Saints, Falcons, Detroit.
Let's do those two real quick. Let's do those two real quick. Let's do those two. Let's talk about the Saints game. I want to ask you. Yes, they won the game, but my thing is this. How do you feel about Jameis Winston not going into victory formation and getting Jamal Williams the touchdown with no touchdowns this year, going against the coaches and going in the huddle and saying, you know what do you guys want to do? You guys want to go victory or let's get Jamal a touchdown? What would you do? First, I want to ask you, what would you do as a quarterback, number one?
I'm going into victory formation because I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right.
It was ridiculous. It said that the Atlanta coach was pissed.
He was
like, go F yourself, you motherfucker. And he turned around one more time and said, yeah. I was like, oh my God.
That's the thing. And then listening to his press conference after the
coach didn't tell him to do that.
No, he didn't.
No,
he said victory
not
formation.
At all.
But I'll send it to you guys in the group chat. I was watching this reporter. It was an unknown reporter, not a big reporter, goes in there and he's, he has media credentials. So he goes in there and asks Jameis Winston, so whose decision was it to come out of victory formation and get him a touchdown? He said it was a team decision. He's like, the reporter says this to him, which I credit this reporter so much for what he said. He stood up to what he said, and he goes, well, on the offensive side of the ball, you have 11 players. What happened to the other 43 players on your team? Did they jump over and say, go for it, go for it?
You mean,
no.
Did he mean the people in the huddle decided to do that?
Yes. Well,
that's probably, yeah, exactly.
No, he said, listen, I'm going to get to it. He says, it was a team decision. So the reporter said, so it was 11 guys in the huddle that made the decision.
That's not a team decision.
He goes,
that's
this is what he said.
By the players on the field only.
What he said, the reporter said, so the 11 guys in the huddle made the decision or the team? He's like, it was a team decision. He's like, The reporter said, so you waved over to the sideline and they all gave you the thumbs up, the other 43 guys to do it. And the reporter says, I'm just saying that was the wrong thing to do. The wrong thing to do. Then the last thing he said to him, he goes like this. He's like, now I know why you're a backup.
Wow.
And he walked away. And that's when you drop the mic right there as a reporter.
Yeah.
Well, Winston hasn't been too smart.
No,
Not lately. No.
Ever since he
stole that lobster.
No, the crab legs.
Crab legs or whatever.
Yes. In college, he steals crab legs,
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right. Let's get it. Let's go to the Lions game here.
Lions, yep.
Man, the Lions look good, brother.
Mullins had like 400-something yards.
I know.
But the Lions do look good, but I think the Vikings were
didn't they? Didn't Laporta get hurt in the game, though?
Yeah, Laporta was banged up.
I thought he got banged up. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. He says he's fine, but he's banged up, of course.
Are you sold on Goff, Dan?
Goff's pretty good with Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just asking if you sold on him. Is my question.
They got a damn good running back, a real good offensive line, and weapons.
Let's take Dan. Let's take that a step further.
Probably better than the Rams team he was on.
Let's take that further, Dan. Let's talk about 2 good running backs for Detroit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
he's got some stuff around him. I'm not surprised. Goff's pretty good, but their team is pretty good. I don't know if their defense is the greatest, but their offense is really, really, really good.
It is, and they're the team that's if they're down 14, they have every right to win the game because the weapons they have are so fast they can score.
I agree.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the other game here.
San Francisco.
Well, you took the Rams here, Dave. What the hell happened there?
I don't know. I don't know.
I can see your point. I can see your point.
My point was, they were sitting. Niners were sitting their starters. So I figured,
It's probably the
why not go?
That the
not go with the Rams,
People. What's that, Dan?
I thought the 49ers with Darnold would play well, but I mean, it's a divisional game, and the Rams
exactly. Yep.
The Rams needed that game. So
the only thing I seen coming out of the Rams here was one thing. We want to get Puka, the rookie.
I love this kid. I think he's amazing. To be honest with you.
Coming out of BYU, I couldn't believe
him and Cup are just like a great combination. Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the last game here. My Buffalo Bills, man. I tell you, I'm just sold.
I'll tell you, I'm sick of. You could sell me on Josh Allen. I ain't buying. I'm sorry. I'm just not buying on Josh Allen.
Won by 7.
I don't care. I'm not a Josh Allen fan. I never was.
Injured Miami team.
How many picks did he have on Sunday? Come on, man.
But you know what? We talked about that. You can live and die by Josh's interceptions. I was like, here's good. On Twitter, I put here's the bad Josh Allen. 4 plays later, here's the good Josh Allen. But I tell you what, I still give credit to the Buffalo. I think they do get far in this playoff system because ever since Joe Brady took over this offense, he's put he knows you're going to live or die by Josh Allen.
And they run with Allen. They run with Allen a little bit more, not too much, just enough. Where it keeps a balance.
Josh Allen is a quarterback / linebacker is what he is.
Yeah, Josh Allen is good, but that's a 7-point game. If Miami offense plays a little better, it'd be different. But it was a good game. It's a great win for them.
I mean, I really didn't see the game because I was coming back
from the division. That's impressive, I think.
I was coming back from the game from Washington. So I've listened to it on the radio. I'm like, man, Josh Allen, there's another pick. I'm like, oh, keep going, dude. Keep throwing him.
Alt is a left tackle. He's always on the left side. That's why I compare him to Fanshawe from Penn State. Yes. I'm sorry if I said right tackle. I'm sorry about that.
Yep. Yeah, you play left tackle for us.
Left tackle.
Thomas. So.
He's nasty.
But if Aaron Thomas gets hurt, we'll throw him over there.
Definitely. All right, so let's move on to this week's games here, guys.
But go back to that Miami game real quick. Miami had a chance to actually make a game out of it in the end. If you think about it,
only 7-point game.
That's what I'm saying, right? And then Tua threw the pick at the end. So, but I'm still a believer. I think Miami's still a good team. They'll be there.
Hey, well, they're in their playoffs. I mean, we'll talk about it now. That's what gives us the opportunity to talk about it. Let's go to the playoffs games here, guys. There's the games here. We have 6 games on the slate. Of course, Baltimore and the Niners have to bye this week. So let's talk about the slate we have here. All right. Yep. Game 1, Cleveland, in no specific order here. Cleveland, Houston Texans. I'm the wild card here. I'll let you guys go first. Why are we taking Cleveland?
Goddamn.
Well, Joe Flacco is playing, first of all.
Okay.
I think it helps that they played just last week. So they're gonna. I think it helps that they're playing back to back.
Okay, a little momentum there.
I don't think it's easy to win back to back. And with Flacco, the Browns are different than with Driscoll. But I think it will be close. But I don't think it's going to go exactly the same way. I think Stroud will play well. The Texans will play well. They both have really good defenses. This may be a lower scoring game than some people think.
Okay.
But I think the Browns will win in a close game, like 21-17 or something.
Okay. We're going to take this a little bit further this week. Okay, we're going to do scores too. Okay, on each game. Okay. We'll give our picks and we'll give scores after that. Dave, why are you on the Cleveland Browns with Dan?
I'm going to piggyback what Dan said. Flacco's been playing really well lately, and he's having fun when he's playing. Him and Amari Cooper have been on the same page. Amari Cooper's playing really well too, and I love Cleveland's defense. I just think I think in this Stroud thing, his luck has got to run out eventually. So I like Cleveland. I'm going to say Cleveland 24.
And didn't Myles Garrett not play last week?
That is correct.
Big difference.
I'm going to say Cleveland 24.
Hold on your score.
Oh, sorry.
We'll go scores last.
Okay, my fault.
Right, I'm going to go Texans here. I'm still in the CJ Stroud wagon, of course. I like how he plays. Yes, I get what you guys are saying. That Cleveland defense is arguably 1-2 in the NFL right now. I get that. But the thing is, CJ Stroud at home, with the way he's playing, he has that mentality where, you know what, nobody thought I would be here today where I'm at.
That's my position.
Other one, coaching. DeMarco Ryans at home, the way he has this defense playing.
Yeah.
To me, it's if you can score a little bit more than the Browns, which is kind of stupid to say, but this team can score. They can push the ball.
Absolutely.
This team can push the ball deep. That's the thing. CJ Stroud can run the ball too. Cleveland, look at their division. The two blowouts that they had were the Browns. Okay, the Browns, when they play Lamar, they beat them once. But the other game, when Lamar ran wild, they struggle with that prototype running quarterback. CJ Stroud can do that as well. So I'm going to take the Texans here at home. I think Stroud plays great. I understand about Flacco. 300 yards is incredible for this old guy. I get that. But I don't think that he can do this with a shootout game. If it gets to a shootout game, it's not going to happen. So I'm going to take the Texans here. I'm going to take
Texans. It's got to be in the 20s. You can't. You're not going to win the shootout, I think. But the Browns have been known to score a lot of points in some games, so you never know.
Yeah, they have.
But I don't think it's going to be because they both have a good defense.
Okay, all right. So let's go. I got the Texans, of course, on my money line here, but we're not going to go spreads. We'll do spreads next year. I can't wait for that one. But give me your score since you jumped ahead. What was your score?
Yeah, I'm sorry. But before I do that, I want to go back to the Cleveland thing. Their defense is nasty. We've been saying that, and I think if they get to Stroud and they frustrate him, it's going to be a long day for him. Personally, my final score.
Games. Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, my final score. I'm going to go Cleveland 24.
Okay.
Houston 20, just 20, 24-20.
Okay. Dan, what about you?
I'm going to go 28, 21.
21. Wow. Okay. Oh, what the hell happened to Dave there?
Probably backed out a second.
All right. Yeah, we lost you there for a second there, Dave.
Sorry.
That's all good. All right. Whatever. 28. You got 28-21. Dave has 24-20. Of course, Browns. I'm going to go close game. I think it's a field goal late, and I think this is what I see. I think Texans. They get the lead. They go up 26 points. Cleveland has the ball late with Flacco trying to throw the ball to catch back up to get him in field goal range. I think they lose 26-23. I'm going to go Texans 26-23.
I can see it being close like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game.
Like that.
I definitely think it's going to be a close
game.
That
or a touchdown or 6 or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, let's move on here. I'm going to write this down. Dan, take us to the next game, the Buffalo game. I'm going to write all this down.
Buffalo Bills versus 7-seed Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm taking the Bills.
I agree.
Bills are playing really good football. The Pittsburgh does have a good defense. They did play well at the end. They got into the playoffs, but I think the Bills have that home field advantage as well. We know Pittsburgh plays in the cold. It's supposed to be cold everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and I think the Bills have been really solid at home, especially lately. So, I'm taking the Bills. I think Allen's playing well. I like Pittsburgh, but I don't think they're going to go into Buffalo and beat the Bills.
Agreed.
Because the Bills are hot.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like they finished strong going in. So that's another reason I think they're going to win this game. Because they're playing real good football right now.
Gotcha. Dave.
Yeah. Dan pretty much summed it up. Buffalo's really playing well. They're playing well at home, and especially their home. I like their chances at home too. And Pittsburgh on the road. I don't know what Pittsburgh's record is on the road. But
they're under 500 on the road.
I thought that's what they were. Yeah, I thought this were. As much as I like Mike Tomlin, and I think Mason Rudolph is playing really well, and I like Pickens, and I'm a fan of that team. Yeah. I think losing TJ Watt's going to be a huge loss for them.
Huge.
And on the defensive side of the ball, and I think that's going to really affect Pittsburgh's play with Watt being out. So I'm going to go. I'm picking Buffalo too. I think Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Buffalo too. Dave and Dan, you guys summed it up. Pittsburgh on the road is not the greatest team. Playing for Tomlin's one thing, but when you lose TJ Watt on that defensive side of the ball, he makes it go. He's your massive impact. He's your engine, of course. Everything runs through him. Where he transitions the ball. And the other thing is, you look at Najee Harris. Okay, he's not been Najee Harris this year. He's got glimpse and glamour, but you look at Buffalo. Their defense is basically their front seven is a no-name defense. If you really look at talent-wise versus anyone else, but they stopped the run. You stop Najee Harris, you're going to put Mason Rudolph in a situation where he's got to throw that ball. He's shown glimpses of it, but Pickens is that wild card to me. What Pickens is going to show up, what's going to happen there. So I got to lean toward Buffalo. Buffalo, Dan, as you said, dude, they're riding right now, man. They're riding. You got to go with Buffalo. You thought about this 3 games, just like as we said earlier with the Jaguars, 3 games up on the division. Buffalo was down 3 games in the division.
They were 6-6.
Yes, they came back to look where they're at now. Hosting a 2 seed playoff game at home. Yes, hosting a game
6 in a row. Yeah, we're fine.
And a lot of people discredit. I took Buffalo last week. You guys took the Dolphins. Going into Miami, a run and gun team with all track meet. Nice weather. They have it all there. Go into Miami and beat them. You got to give them credit. I got to go with the hot team, of course. This line, this line right here is 10.5 right now. Here's my do they cover? Before we get into scores, do they cover?
I think yes.
I agree. I think they do too.
I think they cover. Yep,
I do too.
I'm not so sure.
All right, Dave.
No TJ Watt. Their defense is had a lot of time back there.
Big different. All right, Dave. Since you gave me your pick first last week, Dan, I'll go to last game. Dan, give me your pick for this game here.
35-14 Bills.
Ooh, 35-14. Wow. Damn, ass kicking. Just like Insane said. What did Insane say? What was that comment? What was that word he used? I gotta go back to that word. I've never seen that word before. I'm not that smart.
It's bold, but I think the Bills are going to beat them handily. To be honest,
sodomizes. That's a big word. I'm gonna write that down. That's a new word.
Yeah,
for
he
me.
Spelled it wrong like a while ago, so he's just correcting himself now.
Did he really? All right, cool. I was like, oh, like wait, I couldn't believe that comment. I was like, what was that? What was that word he used?
Foster put the score in the chat.
Let's get Foster.
Yeah, he thinks it's gonna be like I do.
All right, let's write that one down.
Similar.
Foster, while you're still checked in, give me your prediction for the Houston Browns game as well. I'm gonna write all your picks down too. So he's got Bills. Foster. Foster has got 31-13. Wow. Okay. Damn. Danny's right on board with you. All right, Dave, give me your pick as well for this game here.
I'm going to, of course, Buffalo. But I'm going to 27-20.
27-20? You're that close?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Man. All right. I like the 30 line here. I'm going to go
because I think, like I said, I think they cover. So I'm going to say 27-20.
All right. I'm going to go Buffalo here, 34-16.
Okay.
I think they put up the points here because you're at home. I understand they can play depending on the weather. That's really not going to bother me because both teams
They're just on fire right now as a team.
Yeah, you just got to go with them. And
got to pick them. I think
I'm not worried about this Pittsburgh defense. TJ Watt out of this game here. That's a huge difference.
That hurts. That really hurts them. It really does.
Who else do they have? They have Joey Porter Jr. on the outside. I think he's okay. But man, I got to go Buffalo big here. 34-16. Insane has
42-17 Bills.
Damn. Okay. Insane has 44-17. Okay.
I just like to see Buffalo. I like to see
Foster.
I just want to see. I just want to see Pittsburgh cover. That's me. That's just me.
Foster has 27-24 Browns. Okay, so I'm the lone wolf on that game there. I'm the lone wolf on that game. I think Texas win that game there. All right, let's move on here. Another AFC since we're staying AFC first here. Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins. You guys got Kansas City winning this game as a 3 seed. I got Miami winning this game as a 6 seed. You guys take it away. Why?
I was on the fence on this one.
I was too, Dan. I really was.
Remember, Miami doesn't have Chubb.
Yes.
True.
They don't have Who's that?
Daniels.
Howard also.
Oh, Xavier Howard.
Or Xavier Howard. Yeah, I think he's. I thought he was questionable last I checked.
He's questionable today. That's what I see.
They're missing like a couple of linebackers, but the question about Miami is Hill healthy?
He was questionable too, but I think he's going to play.
He's banged up.
Waddle going to play?
Waddle's playing too.
They're all questionable. They're listed as questionable. No doubt these guys are playing.
I think they're going to
play and play the whole game. That's really going to be the key, because I do think that Kansas City's very inconsistent. So I won't be surprised if Miami wins this game, but I'm going to take Kansas City because it's tough to play in Kansas City at home. The injuries for the Dolphins, and we haven't really seen Tua win those big games really in the playoffs.
True.
And Mahomes has been there, done that many times. So the experience factor, I think, is why I'm taking them, and they're at home. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins win. I've been telling, there's a Bills fan, I'm like, be careful what you wish for.
Sure.
I'd rather play KC. I'd rather play because that's going to be the matchup. If it's Miami, just be careful. So I think I'm going to take KC at home.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. All right.
For those reasons.
Great points, Dave.
I think the weather's a factor in this game. Because it's supposed to be like -3 or whatever it is in Kansas City.
Wait a minute. Where are they playing in my backyard? Where are they playing in my backyard?
No, I'm telling you, this weather, the weather in KC is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be cold as all can get. They were actually thinking of changing this game to Indianapolis. That's where they were thinking about this.
That would be an advantage for Miami.
That was my point. That's why I was on the fence with it, because they were literally thinking about moving this game. Yeah, but nobody's going to this game, Dan. Nobody's going. It's too cold, dude.
Oh, the hell with that.
Just saying. I'm not playing on a track.
I've heard that I've been hearing all week that people are not going because it's just going to be freezing cold.
Red Kingdom is going to be, Red Kingdom.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Okay.
Sold out.
But I'm going with No,
it's like
I've been on the fence with this. I've been on the fence with this. And I like Miami's. I love what me. I like Waddle. I'm a Waddle guy.
They have a great offense.
All right. No doubt. But I have to go. I can't go against Andy. I just can't. I have to go Kansas City on this game.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go Dolphins here. The reason why, yes, I know they're depleted. Okay. I know they're injured. I get that. But the thing is, I look at both sides of the ball here. Yes, Dan, I love your point of Patrick Mahomes, the veteran. He can do what he has to do. Yep. He's a magician on the field. I get that. Dave, I understand your point. Andy Reid.
They're inconsistent.
Exactly. I understand the weather advantage, of course, Kansas City Chiefs.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing. The advantage goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. They play in this weather. They catch balls in the weather. I get that. But here's the thing. If Miami, it all depends on Tua. The blueprint has been shown. You get to Tua, he makes mistakes. I get that. But
absolutely,
the way I'm hoping is the factor is A-Chain. If he can get the ball out there, I think they can't stop him. I think he runs the ball, takes this team, and try to get a shootout. The weather is bad. It's not going to be a shootout. If it's a shootout, I advantage Miami here because Kansas City cannot play from behind. We've seen the weapons they have.
I agree with.
They do not have the weapons to come back to a game. If it's a 10-point game, you can control that running game, run the ball, A-Chain, run the ball with Mostert. Get this Kansas City off the field, even though they don't have the weapons to catch the ball. But I have to go Dolphins here because I think there's too many weapons, man. I mean, I understand Kansas City
have their weapons, yes.
Yes, well, Kansas City did beat Miami in what was it, week 2 or 3 or something like that in the beginning or whatever it was.
That don't matter.
It don't matter now.
That doesn't mean anything to me. It was better weather, but there's a difference with this Miami team, the weapons they have. But the X factor to me, of course, is Tua. If he can show up, he can win this game. I think he can.
Well, what game plans McDaniel's going to have?
Right.
Got the right game plan to take advantage of either Jones's aggressiveness, or on defense. And take because they got some speedy linebackers. Kansas City, their defense is good.
They do.
So
I just think the weather has a factor. That's just me.
Weather is a factor, but sometimes you think it is, and it doesn't end up being a factor. Sometimes you assume it might be, but I don't know if it's going to be windy or not. If it's not windy,
it's going to be cold. That's all I know.
What the other thing too? What it comes down to, if it becomes a running game, I understand Mostert and A-Chain, okay, but they are turf runners, okay, not outside runners. They're They're finesse runners, power but finesse with that speed and the ground.
Yeah.
To me, if it snows, I am going to give Pacheco the advantage here because that dude, he runs angry. He runs angry.
And
does.
Miami's
he
defensive
does.
injuries that
That's
you're
what I
going to
mean.
want to run the ball for KC.
That's
That's
what I mean.
what I'm doing. I'm running the ball
Yeah.
and passing the ball secondary.
I agree.
In this game, if I'm the Chiefs.
To me, this is going to be a set up the run first and take what the defense gives you. No deep balls. Hey, a couple, 5-yard drags here, inside slants. Take what they give you. Play action is going to be huge here. But the Kansas City Chiefs have to isolate that running game first because Miami's depleted up front. Yep. All right, Chiefs have more drops than the Bears. They are who are they? A good 4 or 5 team. I agree.
4 or 5 a game drops. That is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
And some of those drops, man, have been costly for the records this year. Honestly, if you think about some of those drops.
Tony.
Oh God, yeah, scandal. Big time.
Wasn't even a drop.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. All right, so let's go down the score line here. I'll go first this week. I'm going to go Miami. Davey, since you're saying it's -3 here. Advantage Taylor Swift because she's going to be looking kind of cute out there too. But here's the thing: I got to go Dolphins here. I think it's going to be low scoring. I'm going to go Dolphins. Oh, damn. Weather-wise, this took me down a couple points. I'm going to go 20. Yeah. I'm going to go 23. 23-21 Dolphins. 23-21 Dolphins. I'm going there.
Interesting.
Dave, since you're the last time, I'll let you go second this time. I'll go 23-21 Dolphins.
23-21 Dolphins.
Yep.
All right. I like I said, I'm a Dolphin guy. I am. But I'm going Kansas City because the weather.
Can you do the Waddle for me? Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, I like Waddle. I always did. But I'm going to say Kansas City 27, Miami 19.
27-19. Okay.
Yeah.
Chiefs. Okay. And that's Dave. All right, Dan. Break my heart. Go ahead. Chiefs 22-20. Okay. Insane.
28-24 Chiefs.
28-24 Chiefs. Okay. So we're pretty much close. I mean, this is not going to be a shootout. We know that, right?
No, I don't see that.
22-20. All right.
Okay.
Foster, just give me yours.
Close, but...
Yeah, Foster, just give me your predictions. We got all the predictions there, so I'll flip over the page.
Foster.
Here. All right. So, listen, this is probably one of the best games I think of the week right here. The Rams and the damn Lions.
Yes.
Matthew Stafford versus Jared Goff. Let's flip them. 3 years ago.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It is.
It's interesting.
It really is.
Let's talk. Foster, give me 24. Thank you, Foster.
20.
Thank you.
Miami.
Brother. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, Foster.
Foster picked the fish. Wow.
I love that, Foster. I love that.
I almost picked Miami.
I did too, Dan. I was on the fence. I really was till the weather got. That's what influenced me.
I didn't even think about the weather. I thought about the injuries and.
I wasn't going that far.
Is Waddle going to be healthy? Is that type of stuff? So.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be close, but let's get to this game here. Like, who would have thought? You go out, you get Jared Goff and that Carson Wentz, that draft pick there. You take him number 1, and you trade him for Matthew Stafford. He comes to the Rams, wins a Super Bowl. Okay, Goff is like, okay, nowhere to be found because they didn't have the weapons at the time. You really remember that? They had nobody. They shipped him off. They shipped him off to the sunset. Said, you know what? You have nothing out there. Good luck. Well, guess what? Now they have the weapons under Dan Campbell. Who would have thought? The 3 and the 6 seed. Detroit's hosting this game. How do we feel about this game?
I love this game. I do
too. I do too. I'm waiting for this game.
I'm a fan.
No, I think it's gonna be a really good game.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
Dave, I'll let you start. Why are you taking the Rams here?
They've been hot lately. They've been playing really well. I think their coach has motivated them. To me, their defense has been playing better. Okay. And I don't know. I just something about the Rams this time of year, they get hot. I've seen it before. They did it to Dallas a couple of years ago.
And they have Cooper Kupp and
they have Cooper Kupp and they have that kid Puka, right? And they do. They have weapons. They really do. I think Higbee's out though, if I'm mistaken. I think he's out. I'm not sure.
Oh, Tyler's out. I didn't even know that. I didn't even see that.
I think so. I think he is. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But you know what? Stafford to me is hot. And it's playoff time, and this is where he shines. I like the Rams. I just do. That's just me.
Okay. Okay. Dan.
Like I said, the Rams are playing well. They have two really good weapons playing well. Cooper Kupp is healthy. Stafford is healthy. That makes a big difference.
Yep.
The thing about the Lions is I don't trust their defense entirely.
Nope.
I think the Rams could score some points in them, but I think this will be a high scoring game. I think they're both going to get in the 30s maybe.
Yeah.
But it's an upset that the Lions are at home. But I'm going to take the Rams. I think the Rams are just playing better football right now. Not that the Lions don't look good, but I think the Rams will win this game.
All right. I got to go Lions. I agree with what you said here. The Rams are playing great, solid football. They have the weapons, of course. You got Puka. You got a healthy Cooper Kupp. Stafford is playoff. He has that veteran leadership. He knows how to win the game. He's been to the promised land. He's won a Super Bowl. Dan, I get your point about Detroit's defense. They're not the greatest defense. They do give up points to unknown teams. We've seen that in the whole entire season. But the thing is, there's a difference between giving up points and putting up points. This Lions team can put up points in a second. Look at last week.
I agree with that.
They can put them up. So they are out of a game, but they're also in every game too with this offense. Okay.
Oh, so I agree with that.
I'm on Ross St. Brown, baby.
Well, yeah, exactly. And the thing is too, like, okay, you talked about the defense. They've given up. They played two wide receivers like a Cooper Kupp and a Nika Puka. They played. They played the Vikings with Jefferson and Addison too. They know how to play two wide receivers at the same time. They've done it. They've won the game. I understand Kirk Cousins is different from Matthew Stafford. I get that being out there, of course.
Yes, he is.
But here's the thing: they know how to play that. They know how to win from behind. They know how to control a lead too. So I got to go Lions here, especially being at home. This to me is a game where Jared Goff is went in that locker room silently and said, "You know what? In my locker, I've circled this game because Sean McVay, I got a big FU to you. You traded me, thought I was nothing. This is a motivational game for me right here. This is circled on the schedule. Circled ever since the playoff seeding came out.
You're a believer in Jared Goff in the playoffs.
Hey, Dave, you know what? Every dog can throw, get a bone out there if he has weapons to throw, owners to throw them the bone. He has the bones out there to throw the ball around.
Okay. I mean, I didn't go to the Super Bowl. You're right, Dan. He did. I agree.
How many points?
But you're right. I just, to me, I think Stafford's where it's at right now. He's just hot.
Okay. I think Goff benefits from the weapons, the offensive line, the running backs he has.
I don't know. I just think something about the Rams, dude. I just don't in this time of year. It's weird.
The team's playing well going in. You go in hot into the playoffs. Those are the teams I kind of like. Not that the Lions aren't playing well.
And the other thing too is like Dan, you talked about this game too. The Browns, they sat some players. Players are playing for a reason going into the playoffs here.
It's going to be a different game.
Detroit played the starters last week.
Yeah.
They did.
They had it wrapped up in 3. They knew Dallas was going to win the game. Of course, that's
my question is isn't that a little risky?
Yes, the benefiting factor. Yes, you play for momentum. You play for, otherwise the con is playing for injury. But, they came out healthy. But you know what? They're clicking. They're clicking right now. They're clicking in the right direction. I got to go Lions. Foster's got a score up there. He's the first one to give a score. He agrees with me. We're going Lions 38-34. It's a shootout. I'm not going with that score, though. But he's got 38.
That's a lot of points there.
I do like that. I think it's going to be up there. I honestly do.
That's a lot of points, Foster. I don't know.
But, Dave, what's your score for this game? I know you're going
I'm going Rams.
Okay.
I'm going to say Rams 34.
Okay.
Lions 28.
Okay. Yeah, Dan, I'm sorry. Dan, give me your pick. Rams.
Rams 34-31.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna go Lions here. I'm gonna pretty much stay where Foster's at here. I'm gonna go 36. 36-33. I think it's a little field goal game there. Trying to get in field goal range here.
It says 38-35 Lions.
Yeah,
I think
I see that.
Game.
What was that, 38-35, Dan? Was that what it was?
Yep.
Yeah, 38-35.
Both have weapons. Both could score points.
Wow. You know what the funny thing is?
Both defenses aren't the best.
Everybody has this game in the 30s on both. Dave, you have a 28. I have a 20-33. Everybody, Dave, you have the lowest score for the Lions at 28, but everybody's got this a high scoring game. This is insane. I love that.
Yep.
To me, this is the game of the week right here. This game I will be.
I cannot wait to watch this. Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
I will definitely.
That and the Browns and Texans are a really good game.
I'm going to watch all games, of course. But I think if I could pick one game, of course it would be Dallas. But to me, on paper right here, it has to be this Rams.
It's got to be Rams Lions. It's got to be.
Yep.
It has to be.
Stafford versus
Goff,
and they're on opposite teams. That's
exactly.
You know,
story.
It's gonna be fun.
You traded me to bullcrap. Now look where I'm ahead of you.
It's gonna be fun. It is.
Golf to me. Golf. If I'm his family, I'm wearing a shirt. Welcome to Golf's house. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah. I mean,
like seriously, it's time for you. Welcome to my house. Now it's time for you to go golf.
Yeah, but if I'm Stafford, I'm like, hey man,
fans like they haven't been to playoffs in a long ass time.
That Lions den's gonna be rocking. You know Ford Field's.
Well, how many Stafford jerseys are we going to see in Detroit?
You will see Detroit Stafford jerseys. I guarantee you.
That's what I want to see.
That's a Philadelphia move right there, where you go.
That's what I'm saying.
Jerseys.
I'll probably see the opposite too. You probably see.
That's what I want to see. That's why I'm curious.
If I'm that guy, I will wear that jersey and I'll put a huge X on it and say, "Welcome to Golf's house." You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Foster says, "I live very dangerously. Woke up Saturday morning and the house was on fire." Oh my God, Foster! I hope you're all right.
Your papers.
You know, that's the one thing, guys. You know, listen. Health first, you know, everything
oh
can
my
be
gosh.
rebuilt. Everything can be built. You know what I mean? Glad you're okay, brother.
Glad you're all right. Yeah.
Right, definitely, 100%.
Absolutely.
Holy shit. I want the Lions. We got to score. The Rams are rolling. Puka. I get that too.
The Rams are rolling. That's what I'm saying.
It is nasty. Foster says, if the defense shows up, it'll be a blowout either way. It could be a blowout either way. Yeah, I agree. 100%.
It could be.
It could be.
Maybe.
I can't wait for this game. I really can't wait for this game.
Obviously, turnovers are going to make a difference.
Is that a Sunday or Saturday? It's got to be a Saturday game, right?
I didn't even look, Dave. I didn't even look yet.
I think it's a Saturday.
1, 2. There's one game on Monday. 10 big games.
That's Eagles Tampa. I know that.
Mm-hmm. I think they'll go 2-2-2. I think.
I think it's 2-3-2 or 2-3-1.
I can check
or 2.
I think it's 2-3-1. 2 Saturday, 3 Sunday, 1 on Monday.
All right, Saturday at 4:30 is Cleveland and Houston. Okay,
right.
Saturday 8:15 is Miami and the Chiefs.
Okay.
Sunday at 1 o'clock is Pittsburgh Bills. Dallas at 4:30. Ooh, This is a Sunday
night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sunday night game. That's awesome. You know, Ford Field's gonna be rocking.
I like
Sunday night.
Ford Field. Yeah, that's going to be jumping.
Rocking on Sunday night. Definitely.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Insane says, yeah, Sunday it's 8 o'clock. It's gonna be insane. This is insane.
Okay.
Thank you, Foster. I appreciate that. All right, let's get into, here it is. The Dallas Cowboys got the 2 seed. We're home. Road Warriors, nonetheless, we don't need to do that. We're home at least, game by game here. Let's talk about it. Dan, you mentioned Matthew Stafford versus Jared Goff. Flip them back and forth. Trade. We want you. We don't want you. Once again, we're in the same situation here, but it's coaching. Green Bay. Bye-bye, Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, welcome to McCarthy's house here. Coaching, player, difference. I get it. Where are we at with this? We're all taking Dallas, but
I'll take the Cowboys at home. They're playing really well, especially on offense. I think they're a better team on both sides of the ball.
Agreed.
I think that the matchup is really good for Dallas in this game, especially offensively. And obviously, you guys have a real good defense. It's probably one of the best teams Green Bay's going to play all year. Did you play them in the regular season or no?
No, we didn't see them. No.
It's probably the best team going to play all year, but I'm going to take Dallas at home. They play real good at home all year.
Agree.
I think they have the matchups on offense and defense, so I think they'll win.
Gotcha. Okay. Dave?
Well, we talked about it last night on our show. Mm-hmm. The whole thing that scares me is Aaron Jones. I've been saying that for a while. I don't know his status, but I think he's going to play as far as I know. Mm-hmm. AJ Dillon, I don't know his story. Is he playing? Is he out? I don't know. Last time I think he was questionable.
Well, everybody's listed at questionable, but I don't agree with that because he's still
right. I don't either. I don't know for sure.
Day off, so.
Right, I agree. Dallas stops the run. They win the game. Dak throws for 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Damn.
Cowboys win 27-17. Called it.
Don't give me a score yet.
Sorry, my fault.
All right. I agree Dallas wins this game, but to me, I'm a little scared because I look at momentum swings. I look at players, what they believe in their head. McCarthy, to me, I believe in him this year. I really do. Green Bay comes back to us. He has something to prove there. Did Aaron Rodgers make me, or did I help Aaron Rodgers in a way? That to me leans toward a an iffy factor in my head because we know McCarthy is one of those guys that can play call when he's on, but when he's off, it's not clicking properly. It's a little bit of bad calls. So I still think Dallas wins the game there. But to me, the key factor is, Dave, I agree with you. If we can stop the running game, I'm not worried about Christian Watson. I'm not worried about that. He is a great player. I get that. But if they can stop Dillon and Jones, that's a huge factor to me if we can do it. We've been giving up a lot of yards on the ground to unknown one running backs. Look what James Cook did to me. I know it's one game, but it's something that we – exactly. It's something that we haven't been to suffice with this front seven that's nasty in a way.
Even Connor had a good game against us.
Right. But the other thing is, too, flip the script here, Dave. What Tony Pollard are we going to see with this running game? Are we going to see Tony Pollard, get that 80 to 100-yard game? I haven't seen it at all. Last year, okay, you played the Commanders. You got me 80. I get that. But with this O-line, it's time to, play Michigan football, big boy football, move the line of scrimmage, get Tony Pollard active here because we know Dallas can throw the ball in a late game. We know we can come back and score. We know that. But the thing is, do you really want to live by and die by Dak's arm to CeeDee Lamb? I don't want that. This running game has to suffice. The other factor is Jair Alexander. You hear what happened to him at practice yesterday, right?
Ankle. Yeah, I heard that.
He was doing a jog through and stepped on somebody's foot. He is definitely questionable / doubtful. And he is the one guy on their team that, Dave, I talked about last night.
You talked about last night? Yep.
He rotates side to side. He is one of those guys that he doesn't play slot. Yes, he doesn't play slot 100%, but he's willing to do that on a CeeDee Lamb. If he is 80% Lamb all day, or move Lamb outside, and then you think about that X factor. Yeah, then you think about that X factor. Either it could be Brandon Cooks, it could be Jalen Tolbert, it could be Mr. MIA, Michael Gallup on the milk carton. We don't know.
Maybe Ferguson too.
And in the middle too, Henderson, Ferguson, Shoemaker. Pick your poison there too. I got to go Dallas all day. I think they have more weapons at home. Different story, man. Different story at home. Different story.
If it was in Green Bay, I may say something different, but I think Dallas is gonna.
Yeah, you know what? If we would have had. Well, think about it. If we would have had that 5 seed, man, we would have went to Tampa Bay. I probably would have leaned toward a closer Dallas win, but a closer Tampa Bay probably win outside. Different story. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yep.
Different story. All right, let's go to some picks here. We got Insane and Foster giving us picks there. Let's get those picks up there, Dan. Like write them down.
Hold on.
I don't like either Foster or Insane anymore. I don't like them anymore.
What?
27-24 Packers.
Oh, Foster,
really, dude? How?
27 Packers.
How?
Love stinks. No, he don't. Love pulls it off as the Packers D shows up.
Get the heck out of here.
And I was about to say. I mean, a lot of people say Bears fans aren't smart, but you know what? I take that back now, Foster. I'm just joking.
Not too bright.
Hey, you know what? It can happen. It can happen because
it could.
To me, a defining moment where Jordan Love sits behind Aaron Rodgers so bad they wanted Jordan Love out the first year. He's nobody. He's this. He's that. Well, you know what? This is a game you circle on your schedule too. Hey, listen, who would have thought I would be in the playoffs? C.J. Stroud, who would have thought I would be in the playoffs? Gardner Minshew, who thought I would be in the playoffs? Another moment for Love, defining moment here. Big hey, I'm here, fans. I'm here, Green Bay. Go Pack, go. You know what I mean? To me, but Dan, what's your score here?
I'm going to say 31-21 Dallas.
31-21 Dallas. Okay. Dave?
27-17, boys.
27-17. All right. I'm going to go 33-19. I'm going to stick with what I said last night, Dave. Dallas. I think it's a 2-score game. I got 33-19. Okay.
The way Dallas put points on the board, they put 35 or 40 at home. My God.
31-21, 27-17, 33-19, 27-24, 30-27, and that's Insane. And Foster going Packers.
Foster's just thinking with his he's not thinking with his mind. He's thinking with his heart.
It's kind of funny that he's taking a division opponent. I've been watching this for 50 years. It's crazy playoff take. I get it. Anything can happen, man. Everybody's 0-0 disregard.
Foster, we've all been watching for all that long. Come on, dude.
Dave, I haven't been watching 50 years, brother. When I was 2 years old.
Well, close enough.
You're not even 50.
I know, right, Dave? Shut up, Dave.
I will be in July.
That's what I mean. What Foster says right there. I freaking hate the Packers too. That's what I was going to say. He's a division guy, the Bears guy, and he's taking.
I was going to say it doesn't make sense. Bears fan, he's going with Green Bay. What? What am I missing here? Come on, bro.
The Packers just got that thorn in my side. I was at that game where,
dude, it's time.
I was there, and the Rodgers connection on the sideline. I just can't. It's
McCarthy lifts the curse.
You know what, Dave? I hope you're right because Oh man.
There's nothing better McCarthy want to do is beat his old team up.
Foster says he's pushing 60. Well, brother, hey, listen.
All right, brother, you got me on that one, bro.
Hey, you know what? That's why I love talking to people that's been watching sports for so long.
Foster got me beat, that's for sure.
You know, it's people that have been watching sports for so long. You have a take, they have a take, and it's like that's what I love about doing podcasts. I might say something, Dave, you might say something, Dan, you might say something, Foster might say something. It's everybody's obligation, or I want to say opinion.
That's the greatest thing about sports.
To make them like, listen to me what I'm saying here. Listen to me. Trying to pull that side because that's what sports is all about. Everybody has their opinion, and that's what's great when people can actually get on something and talk about it, disregard, the opinions. I love this, man. I really do. Thank you guys for checking in. Really do. Yep. All right, let's talk about this last game, man. A team that we do not like, no matter what. We can agree on that, right?
That is correct.
All right, let's talk about it. You guys are on this Buccaneer thing, and I'm on the other side of the fence here. Even though I hate saying this, I'm pulling a Foster here. I don't like the team, but I'm going to say they win here. Why are you guys going Tampa Bay?
Because the Eagles have totally stumbled into the playoffs. They're 1 and 5 or something like that.
1-4,
1-5 or 1-6, and they're like they really backed into the playoffs.
Okay.
And my question is, how healthy is Hurts' finger going to be?
True.
He dislocated his finger, a throwing hand.
Yep.
So he didn't play out the game, and they're a little bit banged up. And I think Tampa Bay is just playing much better football than they are. And that's why a part of the reason I take Tampa Bay is the Eagles are really struggling. They're so inconsistent.
I agree.
And Tampa Bay is playing better football. They're at home. I think they're going to win the close game.
Okay. Dave, take a little bit further.
I'm going to piggyback what Dan said. And I've been saying that for a while now. I like Tampa Bay in this game. I like Rashad White. He's running the ball hard. Baker's been playing well.
Mm-hmm.
I like Tampa's defense too.
They have good weapons too, and
they
Eagles are
do.
not very good on the back end.
And I love Evans. I'm a fan of Evans too.
Yep.
I like Tampa in this game. But then I did hear something interesting this afternoon that kind of really drew me to this game. Jalen Hurts hasn't thrown a ball since Sunday, guys.
That's what I meant.
Just throwing it out there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how is that finger going to be? And they're going to have a totally different game plan if he can't throw a lot.
If his timing's off because of a finger, I got to give it to I think it's going to be Tampa Bay all the way in this game.
That's another. If Hurts was healthy and the Eagles were fully healthy, I might take the Eagles.
I agree.
Okay.
And if they were playing well.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to flip it here. I'm going to take the Eagles. I understand, Dave, I didn't see that about Hurts not throwing the ball. A.J. Brown didn't practice today. He's limited with that injury, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Smith is still nursing. I get that.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts,
banged up, man.
They are definitely banged up. And you got, I'll talk about the Eagles first. I'll go with the Eagles first. The thing is here, what have the Eagles not done all year behind that nasty offensive line? It's still top 4 in the league to me. They haven't run the ball. This is a league where Sirianni needs to put that goddamn pride aside. I hate saying this about this.
Got to run the ball, man.
That's what I'm saying. He's got to put that bullshit aside by getting the ball out. Got to stop throwing the ball here. Your quarterback's hurt. The best way is to be, running back friendly here behind a good offensive line. You got to get Swift. You got to get Gainwell. Hell, throw in Boston Scott. I don't care who you have to. I do. You have to put them all in there because I think this is a time where you put that pride aside about being, Jalen Hurts, the great weapons we have. Smith,
they have one of the best offensive lines.
That's what I'm saying.
Why would you be pounding the rock all the time?
That's what I'm saying. You got to put that pride aside. You got to put the pride aside this week and go back to something you haven't done all season to win. You're in playoff mode here.
I don't think he's going to do it.
I know. I don't think he will.
Tampa can stop the run, bro.
No, he'll be forced to because it hurts his hand.
That's what I'm saying. And then what you can do is you can be quarterback friendly. You can take when you know what you stop the run. You get 3 yards per carry, whatever, 2, whatever. I don't care. You put your team in a position to go 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. Not like the Eagles have been in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12.
Well, if you keep it 3rd and short, that's big. But if it's
that's what I'm saying.
Over and over, that's
what I'm saying. I think I'm going to go Eagles here. I'm going Sirianni's mind mentality here. What he doesn't do and say you got to do this. We're trying to give you a script to win the game here. We're trying to. But I think I have to go Eagles here because. Man, you can't put 6 weeks straight together and with a talented team like this. I understand Baker Mayfield, comeback player of the year. I get that. Mike Evans, I get that. Rashad White, I get that. Defense is great. The front seven, I love what's his name? Vita Patea. I love him. But I got to go Eagles. I got to go Eagles here. I have to go Eagles. if you run the scheme of what you should do to win this game, you can win this game.
Oh, so they have to. I think they have to commit to the run. I think
you have to. You have to.
Getting that run game going would be huge for them.
You have a locker room that's all it's out of control right now. AJ Brown's not playing to his potential. The running game is okay, right? It's everything. And
no, their running game is good, but they don't run enough.
With Hurts being injured and his hand, and last week what the Giants did to him, I just don't see it.
I mean, I look at Dave. You know how I am. I look at it.
Point two.
Yeah, I look at it as a coach. Like, okay, Dave. Like I'll rehash something. Dave, last year, we made it to the playoffs. We played out Altoona, Aliquippa, lost it to Roe Vivas' team back-to-back years. Knocked me out. But Dave, I told you guys. Remember, I usually score 45 to 50 points a game. You guys know that on my offense. The last game of the season, we scored 13 points. We lost 20-13. I took that. I didn't throw one freaking pass the entire game. I ran the ball to keep that offense off the field because I knew I couldn't outscore a talented.
All right, Army, we see you. We hear you. All right, Army, we hear you.
Like I had to do that. If Sirianni can do that, I think he has a better shot than getting it into a shootout with a quarterback with a bad hand. I really do. Okay. Regardless of what weapons you have on that side, you have to scheme to where you have an advantage to win the game. This offensive line, Dave, they can move the ball.
I'm not saying they can't.
Think about that brotherly push there. I mean, if you get 3 yards off that push, just imagine if you continuously – what do offensive linemen run doing better? They don't like pass blocking. They hate it. They love run blocking because it's pushing. That's all it is, So I got to go Eagles here. I got to go Eagles.
I just think the matchup favors the Bucs on offense.
Hey, Dan, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think they gave the Eagles Monday night to give Hurts an extra day for his hand?
No.
Okay, just thought I'd ask.
But it might have to do with Tampa Bay's home, so maybe it's more. I don't know how they decide that.
Why would you put the Eagles in Tampa on Monday night? Is my question.
Because you want the best 5 games in the conferences in the Monday, Saturday and Sunday. Then Monday it's like.
I think I'd rather. Yeah, but if it's Monday night prime time, I think I'd rather watch Rams in Detroit than I'd rather watch Eagles in Tampa.
Yeah, but that's Sunday night prime time. That's good.
Well, I get you, but I'm saying, that's just
better rings. It's not a Monday.
I agree. But, I think it was, Dave, because, the Saturday games, the Sunday games are awesome. Monday night, you're recovering from these games, and you're going to have a hangover. So this is when you need to get your monkeycoldcoffee.com. You need to reach out to monkeycoldcoffee.com. After the Saturday and Sunday games, you're going to be hungover. You don't even watch this bullshit game. So on Friday, reach out, get Federal Express, whatever, FedEx to get you some coffee. Monkeycoldcoffee.com, the evolution of flavor-infused coffee, bourbon chocolate chip, toasted coconut rum, Samaritan blend, Peru, La Florida, and also a honey lagava that came out. We got to put that banner up here as well. Swag, T-shirts, coffee cups, K-cups, whatever you want to cold beauty foods, they got you covered. Make sure you use promo code OTBS Sports at monkeycoldcoffee.com for all your coffee needs. And also, Tuesday morning, I know I'm going to hear from you. After the Eagles get their ass kicked, you better reach out to Jay Fine, 1-800-HURT-123, attorney Jason Fine, Big Al, motor vehicle class, slip and fall, workers' comp, purchase management claims, 3 convenient locations throughout Pennsylvania and Jersey. First, Garden State, Cherry Hill, 3 Greensboro Lane, of course. Philadelphia, there it is. Philadelphia, they got you covered. We already know what's going to happen. Jason's already got it on lockdown. He already got you ready to go on speed now. Of course, reach out to him, 1-800-HURT-123, or you can call myself or one of the operators up here in Pittsburgh area, my neck of the woods. So if you get me, I'll laugh at you first, and then I'll take your case if it sounds good. But reach out to him, 1-800-HURT-123. Chatty Jason Fine. No recovery, no fee. And this month only, while the playoffs are going, Jason's a big Eagles fan. He already knows the outcome of this season. So he said, anybody that has a case and you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, you can tell me that. 30%, not 33 and 30%, 30% for all you Eagles fans if you mentioned out of the box sports entertainment. So Eagles fans, I don't like you, but we got you covered, brother. We think about you too. Okay. We think about you. We think about you. We do. We definitely do. All right. So let's get into scores real quick. Let's get into Let's get into scores of this game here.
28-17 Bucks.
Damn, 28-17 Buckies, huh? Damn.
Yep.
All right.
Dan, you read my mind.
28-17?
No, I got 31-17.
Well, how do you read your mind then?
Well, I can't 17. That's how
All right, Dan, what kind of scores we got there real quick? Insane, what's he got there?
28-21 Bucks.
Insane has 28-21 Bucks. Foster, what's
Foster
Foster
says
got? Oh,
Bucks.
my God. Really?
27-20 Bucks.
I didn't see that. It was quick. Okay.
All right, you know what? I love doing this, guys. Here we go.
Oh, stop with the dog.
No, that's Dave. Don't dog. That's a lone wolf, brother. That's
Lone wolf, whatever.
That's a lone wolf. Okay. Let me do it
Wolf,
again.
dog. Sound like a dog over there.
Hey, nobody ever said I was a wolf, brother. They call me a dog. I gotta go here. I'm gonna go Eagles. You ground and pound. I hate saying this, Sirianni. I think you finally have a little breakthrough here. Mind breakthrough. I think you run the ball. I gotta go Eagles. 24 bucks. 19.
Wow.
Said it. All right, real quick before we get out of here, Dan, you got about 10 minutes to talk real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to get into some off-field talks about real quick. Real quick, lock of the week. We cannot pick the same game.
Dallas.
We cannot pick the same game. Damn, Dan, you just jumped right in and said Dallas. Okay.
Wait. No, yeah, Dallas.
All right. Well, you know what? He beat you to the punch, Dave. He already took Dallas. Dan took Dallas. Okay.
He did.
Don't take your own team.
All right, Dave, real quick. Here's what we're going to do. I want to go second. You want to go second because there's a couple games that could go iffy. We're going to do rock, paper, scissors live. Okay.
Sure.
To get that second pick. Ready? All right. Ready? Rock. 1, 2, 3. No, that was Dave. I'm ahead of you. Let's start. Dan, you count it down. Hand up, Dave. Hand up.
Ready?
Yep. Go 1, 2, 3.
Rock, paper, scissors, go. I can't.
Dave, where are you at?
I got scissors.
I knocked you out. I knocked you out. I'm second. Okay.
Go ahead.
My lock of the week right here, boys. It's the Pitt. No, I'm not going Pittsburgh. You got to be freaking crazy. Okay.
You're not even picking the Steelers. Picking the Bills.
I'm not even taking the Bills. I'm not even going to take the Bills. Dave, I think Dave's going to go Bills because I want to go. I want to be crazy dog this week. Okay. I am going my lock of the week here. I hate saying this. The Philadelphia Eagles.
You got to be kidding me.
Hey, you took freaking Giants last week over the freaking Eagles. Let me take the Eagles. Okay, I'm taking Eagles.
All right.
It's a possibility, obviously.
Dave, I have no respect for if you go Buffalo Bills right now.
I wasn't even thinking of it. No, I know my lock of the week.
Okay.
Paul, I have my lock of the week.
Oh my God, Foster. Paul, you sound like my Rottweiler pit howling when an ambulance goes through the neighborhood.
And a little comment by Payne here.
I think you three should do the spread, but if you're able to make a league on a different site, see if we can get some hosts, then we do it again. And Denny is a cakewalk. It's saying, listen, hey, you know what? You are more than welcome to join us anytime because I think next year we all agreed that we will do spread next year, correct?
Bills.
Do that?
Lock of the week.
Yes.
All right, Foster, you're going lock of the week. Yeah, that's actually the best bet.
Dan, your lock of the week was who? I'm sorry.
Dallas.
Okay, you get the Cowboys. You have the Eagles.
I'm going Eagles. I'm going Eagles this week. Yeah. And saying what's your lock as well? Before we get out of here?
I'm taking Cleveland over Houston.
Wow, Cleveland over Houston.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Well, I couldn't take the boys, and I couldn't take.
Nope. You want the Eagles? You want to take the Eagles?
No, not at all. No, I'm taking Cleveland over Houston.
You know what? I don't like Insane. Insane, we're not doing pick. We're not picking. Let you pick next year. I know.
Packers lock of the week.
Oh my God!
Insane, go away. Go find another channel.
Don't worry, I'll be in the out-of-box chat, and Dave and all the Cowboys will be freaking out if that game don't go well.
You got that right.
I have a question.
Is that the
Dallas loses that game? How pissed will you be?
Oh, very upset.
Katie, can you do me a favor? Get the chainsaw and make sure we have gas for this weekend, just in case. Thank you. That's you know me. You know me.
My phone will be on mute, Dan.
I tell you what, if the Cowboys lose, if the Cowboys, thanks, Dan. I appreciate that. If the Cowboys lose this week, I guarantee it. I'll be the only one in the group chat pissed off. I'll tell you that.
Screaming, yelling, absolutely going off. Yep.
Yes, I know.
And I'll tell you what, I'll be honest with you right now. You guys seen pictures of my house? I have that big flag out front. Dave, you seen it, in person when you came up here.
It's going to be on fire.
If Dallas loses, I swear to God, that whole damn flagpole will be ripped off the side of my house.
All right, guys, I have to get going. I had a great time. I have to go pick up my daughter. She's softball practice. So,
all right, Dave. We'll talk to you, brother. All right.
Great time. Thanks for checking in, everybody. We really appreciate it. I had fun. Dan, Paul, I will see you guys next week, I hope. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, guys. All right, later.
All right, we got our picks there. Insane. Eileen says, I have a question. If Dallas, I wish Dave was still on here because he would say no. because 12-5 and 12-5 is a great opportunity. To me, you know what? Eileen, I'll be honest with you. He's had good years, but to me, I don't play for participation trophies. When you have a talented roster like this, and probably arguably the best DC in football in Dan Quinn with this roster, it's Super Bowl or bust for me. He has to go. I'm sorry. There's other coaches out there that could, with this talent, be like a Shanahan level.
They're like one of the most talented teams in all the NFL.
That's what I mean, Dan. I agree. I think I'll drive him. I'll drive him to the damn thing myself. I'll drive him to
There's another one. If Dallas loses, does Dallas go after Belichick?
No. Reason why? I'll tell you right now.
I think it's going to be a DC, if anything.
I can agree with that, but I don't think with Dallas, the reason why is because look at the last coach that won us Super Bowls, basically, that got kicked out, Jimmy Johnson. He was not a puppet, Dan. He wasn't a puppet. Jerry Jones he wants that puppet. You know, Bill Belichick, you think he's a puppet? No, he's a GM. He's everything to the team. He drafts. He consults. He calls defenses. He is not a Jimmy Johnson, like Jason Garrett, Clapper. He's not a Mike McCarthy. Ditto. Never happen. I can never see that. Never. And then what are you going to do? What are you going to do if he goes? You're going to have Dan Quinn being a head commodity for another coach, right? Another team. So why are you going to have two defensive coordinators on the same team? It's not going to happen. One has to go. No, and I'd rather not start over with Belichick. No way. Nah. Yeah, I'd rather keep McCarthy. Yep.
Antonio Pierce. The Raiders let him go.
That was the other thing, Dan. I want to talk to you about real quick about. Let's talk about Antonio Pierce. I mentioned this to you in the group chat.
Yep.
If the Raiders do not sign him, you know he's not going to be the head coach for the Giants. It's a great option to bring him back as DC, correct?
Absolutely, it's a great
100%,
option.
100%.
He would be, if he's out there, he'd be the leading candidate, and he would get a head coaching job easily if he does well here.
Agree. And
he knows how to win. He knows what it means to be a Giant. He was a real good middle linebacker, so he knows defense. So he could be a DC. He did well as head coach, so I'm confident he could be a defensive coordinator. I don't think he'll be a head coach yet. We'll see what the Raiders do.
I think the Raiders do sign him, Dan, because you go back a couple years after the Gruden effect.
Oh,
you know?
Interesting. Here's something. Titans interviewed Pierce. Probably by Zoom or something.
Yeah, it has to be by Zoom, of course. Right away.
I wouldn't be surprised if for head coach though, Eileen, or for something else.
It would probably be for head coach because Vrabel's out. You know what I mean?
But I have a feeling that's a minority interview.
The Rooney Rule. The Rooney Rule has to be in effect because all teams have to abide by that. Correct?
And maybe they wanted to get that over, but AP is a good choice. But
I hate saying it.
With the Raiders makes him attractive, but what are the Raiders going to do?
So well, you know what? I hate saying this, Dan. The Rooney Rule. I hate saying that effect. For the coaches. I get that.
It's the way it is.
It is what it is, but I get that.
He's qualified.
He definitely is. There's a difference between interviewing and a qualified interview. He's a qualified interview, 100%. But here's the thing: the Raiders have to sign Antonio Pierce. They go back to the Gruden days.
I agree with that.
Remember Bisaccia, how that team turned around and played for Rich Bisaccia when Gruden was gone. Won the last 3 games, played for him. Antonio Pierce, same way. He has that locker room mentality. He has that play for me system. I'll run through a brick wall before you guys run through it. I'll clear the path.
I love him as defensive coordinator.
That's why I think they sign him.
Wall for him.
Yes, I agree. I think the Raiders sign him.
The Raiders would be stupid not to hire him. But you never know. The Raiders do some weird stuff.
But the other thing, Dan, is you look at all these coaches from last year, okay? Disregard race or anything. You look at DeMarco Ryans, okay, a defensive coordinator, stud defensive coordinator, goes to another team, gets the head coach, look where they're at in the playoffs, hosting a 4 seed at home. You look at Antonio Pierce, same mold. Same
type of thing.
Exactly. I think he does get a head coaching job. I think not the worst possibility, Dan, I'll say the worst scenario where he wants to go home after the Raiders say no would be the Giants. I think he goes there. If it's a DC, he goes there under that name DC. Head coaching, I think he gets other looks too before.
He'll get an interview and get other looks, but I'm saying if he doesn't get a head coaching job, I think the Giants would be wise to have him as a top candidate to be defense coordinator for them.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's all. We'll see what happens.
Someone said, as Payne said earlier.
Yeah,
okay.
Bill.
Stay safe.
Let's see what he does, Belichick.
Yep. Let's get into this real quick. The last topic, real quick.
Yep.
Bill Belichick fired after his season 6 Super Bowls. Of course, it was a mutual parting. We knew the writing was on the wall, Dan. We've seen that.
Yeah.
We of course we knew that.
24 years is a long time, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. We lose Nick Saban yesterday, and we lose Bill Belichick. Arguably, to me, the top two GOATs in college and pro. To me, you know, trophy wise, win wise, stat wise, I get that. But insane. I want to bring that point to you. Where does Bill Belichick go now?
Man,
it's hard, isn't it? Wow.
Who needs a head coach? The Redskins?
You know,
Washington?
I look at it different ways, Dan. Everybody needs a head coach. You want that proven commodity, but does your
I wonder
GM,
if he doesn't want to be a head coach after 24 years.
He says he still wants to coach, though.
But he loves defense.
That's the thing. There's two things, Dan. Number one is the defense coordinator. You're going to
loves defense. So.
I get that. I get that. But here's the thing: do you really want your head coach being a defensive coordinator? Then you got to bring another OC in to suffice that, you know. But the other thing is, do you want?
Hasn't Dable worked with Bill?
I believe he did, didn't he? I believe he did, if I'm not mistaken. But here's the other thing too. Here's the other thing. Do you want, as an ownership, you know, as a team that's not great, Dan? You know, all the bad teams are under 500. The only one above 100 was the Titans that, you know, got rid of their coach Vrabel. But do you want to start over with a new coach that arguably you have to give him more titles, Dan? You have to say he's the head coach, he's the DC, he's the general manager, he's the consultant, he's our draft consulator, he's everything. Do you really want to give up one coach the whole keys to the entire farm, Dan?
No,
I don't.
No. So what I'm saying is maybe no one's going to hire him in that situation. If he still loves football, still has an itch to coach.
DC.
A defense coordinator he'd be great at. Period. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Because if the owner wants a yes man, they're not.
Yes,
that's what I mean. Some owners will, but someone suggests that would he be our defensive coordinator? I think it'd be an interesting thing, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're head coaching interviews.
Yeah, I agree.
I always says, does Billy Boy want to go where? Yeah. Well, San Diego maybe.
See,
LA.
Yeah, there's two places that I would say. Like I was talking to my buddy today on the drive home. Yeah, I was talking on the way home on the drive home.
We really don't.
I said to him, he said to me, he's like, "Where do you see Belichick going?" And I it's like what he said here. He's like, "Well, this game, name two places." I was like, "Okay, the perfect fit. You got a quarterback, something you haven't had since Brady. You have Justin Herbert. Go there. You have draft capital. You're in the top. Go get a draft pick. Build around that." Okay. Number two, where I think could offer him the most money would be the Atlanta Falcons. They haven't had a head coach. They haven't had a head coach in how long? Dan Quinn took them to the promised land, lost in the Super Bowl. But what bigger name to Bill Belichick to come down to Atlanta, where you know what? Bad situation, you don't have the quarterback. Do you believe in Desmond Ritter? Do you believe in Heineke? No. But you have the weapons, right? And an okay defense, too, if you think about it. Great situation.
Atlanta played, it wasn't too terrible this year, but that would be interesting. But I think the Chargers are very attractive if he wants that head coach, but I don't know if the GM wants to give him the keys. You know, I'm not letting you be the GM. If you'll just be the head coach and settle for that, fine. But I don't know if he's going to do that.
I agree.
Maybe, maybe he learned a little something from these past 3 years or so, 3-4 years. Maybe he's like, oh, maybe I don't need to be a GM. It's too much stress.
It is. I mean, to me, it's you think about the Eagles before I get to Foster's comment there. You go back to the Eagles with Chip Kelly. Remember how he revitalized his team? He was the GM. He was a draft picker. He wanted total control. And when you have a head coach that runs everything, the GM, it can make or break your team, Dan. And you look at the Patriots draft picks, they haven't been the best as a draft picker either under Belichick. You think about it. 2 bad QBs. It's kind of bad. You know what I mean? And you're a rebuilding team, you don't want that, Dan. You want somebody that's going to be able to draft great, correct?
This is interesting.
Yeah. Foster says, I want to invite you guys to my show, probably individually, but all three of you and my three could talk off season for a 6-man football, shoot the shit. Foster, I'm down with that, man. You know,
I'll do that. Yeah.
Definitely. I love speaking football. It's, I love talking about it. And right now is our off season because we're primarily football. You know,
the Giants got a lot to do this off season, so there's a lot to talk about more. So.
Definitely. And you know what's a handshake? You come to us, we come to you. I appreciate you. You guys, I checked into your show, great knowledgeable. So, the offers here, guys, come to us, let us know too. We would love to do that. Off season. There's a lot of big moves coming up. And also, Foster, we do a live draft as it's going on. We do a live draft as well. We'll do a pre-show as well. So yeah, we'll definitely do that. I appreciate that. Also, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that. 100%. He didn't learn, Danny. What? Go ahead, Danny. I can't read that.
He didn't learn, Danny. That's why he was let go. He didn't want to let the keys go. That could be why.
I mean, it's true. I mean, you think
Makes
about
sense.
it.
It's time to go. It was time.
You think about though, where after Brady left, it's been disappointing seasons. In Saints, a Patriots fan, correct? So he's been through it, and it's kind of it's bad when you have the promised land, everything's you have everything given to you on a golden plate. Then Brady leaves, and you think about it, that all the draft picks that Belichick has brought in, late picks, unknown picks, team players, but after Brady left, it's you go out. Where's the draft picks to rebuild a team other than your quarterback?
No weapons, no quarterback.
It's nothing.
That was a problem, and he's not an offensive guy.
No,
and but they weren't really in the best position to take one necessarily. Now they are.
Yes,
but also I think also for Kraft, I think it was time to move on. It was just time at the same time. He probably didn't want to let the keys go, but I think it also had to do with it. 24 season. He might have figured it's time.
I want to ask you a question, Dan, before we get out of here. And insane, I definitely want to get your opinion on this. The assistant defensive coordinator is Belichick's son, Steven Belichick.
Yeah.
Would it be a slap in the face to offer him the DC job because he's been running it under his dad for how many? I remember seeing this kid on the sideline as a young kid.
Not at all.
Okay, Dan,
Bill Belichick would be proud of that. I don't think that would be. I don't think he had a problem with that at all. Why?
I'm just asking because I heard so many people on Twitter to say it's a slap in the face to offer your son the DC. I don't think it is. To me, I'm proud.
Is he still employed?
He is. He hasn't fired him yet. He didn't let him
go. So, unless he goes with his dad, but they would have went together. Would have been announced together.
That's what I mean. They didn't announce.
I don't think that's a slap in the face at all.
No,
Bill Belichick would be proud of that.
Dan, I tell you what, if that's me and my son says, "Hey, Dad, they're going to offer me the spot."
Says he thinks he will. It makes perfect sense to me.
I agree. I agree with that.
And he will call the same defense. He knows it in and out.
Yes.
So
I go back
that's actually smart.
It is. I go back to watching this, years ago when Steven was so small on the sidelines, like a young kid, following his dad.
He
now
knows
he's got the beard
about it.
And he has that growl to him. He has the mentality of his dad. And to me, Dan, if that happens, he calls me and says, "Hey, Dad, I got they offered me the head coach." I'm having a proud father moment right there, saying, "Congratulations, son.
Here's
be
a
better."
Question. This is a different question. What if Sirianni gets fired?
Screw Sirianni, the guy that doesn't adjust week to week. No, I do not.
Do you think he gets fired?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Nah.
I don't think so. I don't think he does.
Eagles are banged up. I think they'll keep him because they've had they weren't this good. But remember, their back end of their defense is different. They lost some players. They've had some injuries.
And I think there's a
he'll be back.
I think there's a scapegoat involved in this: injuries, losing the other coaches.
Do you think Belichick would go there? No.
I don't think so because
their GM will not let him.
Yeah, Lurie will not. He still remembers glimpses of glamours of Chip Kelly.
Lurie will not let him do anything GM wise. That's the thing.
I don't think so because Chip Kelly ran that team down after his bullshit draft picks. They're finally rebuilding from that. Yeah, I don't know.
This is a good point. He likes Hurts. It's going to have to take Belichick not demanding to be the GM. He's going to have to accept either he's gonna have to have separate defense coordinator. Lurie's not gonna do that.
Let's say if the Eagles do, let's say worst case scenario, Sirianni gets booted out of here after this loss this weekend. Whatever happens, okay, they get him out of here. They reveal it, he's gone. This is Dan. He gets gone. He's out of here. They announced that Bill Belichick is coming as the head coach in DC. That tells me one thing: you still have a coach on your roster that has to be suffice to an OC, right?
Yeah.
And the hot commodity out there is on defense is Bill Belichick and Dan Quinn. That's not going to help the Eagles. The other guy is Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is arguably the top candidate for a head coaching job as an OC.
I've seen his name.
He's not coming to Philadelphia as an OC when you have it. Just like Harbaugh says, who has it better? Ben Johnson has it better in Detroit than coming to Philadelphia with the weapons he has. Why make a lateral move? The only way he moves is the head coaching spot. Correct.
I agree with that. He's going for the head coaching spot. Hold on, we got another comment by Payne here. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't think some of the Eagles players can handle a coach like Bill.
Ooh, true.
That will sit a player and tell him to grow up.
I still remember what he did to Chad Ochocinco.
And Brown. he wouldn't like that. He'd be like, "Oh, we've seen him freak out before."
Hey, listen, I remember with Chad Ochocinco, stay off Twitter while you're playing here. You don't touch Twitter. You don't do shit. And I remember the one game, I don't know if this is correct. I read about this.
Like you went on Twitter during the game or something halftime or something.
Something about where he was on the playing. He got like one catch the entire time that he was there. And he used to whistle to the quarterback, like, woo, woo, I'm open. Belichick told him something like off record, whatever it was, it leaked out. Don't ever do that on my football field again.
Yeah.
No player can. No. And this is Philadelphia. It's
distracting.
It ain't going to happen in Philadelphia. No.
It's distracting.
Yes.
You don't, because the quarterback would go and get sacked.
Oh, man. Insane. Yeah. I mean, insane, but it is insane.
Payne's like, yeah, he did that. Insane.
Yeah, he did. Okay.
Yep.
I remember. Oh my God, that's crazy.
We'll see. I mean, another thing. One thing I'll say, Pete Carroll.
Yeah, that's another name I want to get into. Is my last topic here. Only thing I'm going to say about that, Dan, is yes, I know he went to 2 Super Bowls.
Maybe he just figured, I'm good. I've had a good career here.
But Dan, his press conference, man, he still has the juice. He wants to coach. He was surprised by this, Dan, and some of the players' reactions.
So they fired him.
They fired. Well, he's an advisor, Dan. That's just telling me, like, Dan.
Well, why would you fire Pete Carroll? He's an excellent head coach.
Here's the thing, Dan. Okay, his press conference, he was surprised. Number one, half the players were surprised, according to their Twitter, like, what the fuck just happened? Number one. The other thing is
interviewed quick.
The other thing is this too, Dan. Okay, I still want to coach. Dan. I'm the owner here. You're my coach. You got me at 1 Super Bowl, 2 appearances. Here's the thing, Dan. We're going to go different ways here, but Dan, I'm going to bring you. I know you still have that gump, the mojo. Dan, I'm going to fire you, but I'm going to make you an advisor. I'd be pissed off.
That's an insult.
That's an insult. Exactly.
If you're going to fire me and keep me an advisor, why don't you just keep me as head coach?
Exactly.
But Dan, who are they going to put in his place? You know what? I want the Chargers job if I'm Pete Carroll.
Go back near USC where you came from. You know what I mean? That's a great option for him.
You got Herbert.
I think, Dan. I think the next head coach for the Seattle Seahawks is 2 people. Dan, I hate saying this name. Dan Quinn, number 1.
Dan Quinn we interviewed Dan Quinn for a head coaching job.
Dan, he coached under Pete Carroll with the Legion of Boom.
Actually, you know what? I think you're right about that. But also, he's been a hot commodity for 2 seasons.
He came up to Dallas.
He's gotten head coaches reviews the past 2 years or 3 years in a row.
He was almost named
before Dable.
Head coach. Yes,
before Dable, we interviewed him.
Yes, I know.
Last year, his name was going around. I think this time
he's definitely going.
That's actually a good point.
Either him or Ben Johnson, because Dan, you think about this: Detroit Lions, what they have on offense. Okay, you have Goff, you have St. Brown, you have
solidify that defense. That's a Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. There. You go to Seattle. You still have Geno. You have
got a window. You have Metcalf. They better take advantage of that window.
Exactly. You have Lockett. You have the weapons out there. You know what? Hey, Detroit Lions had the offense, but they never had a defense. They built a defense up a little bit year by year. Do the same thing with Seattle. You're on a 5-year window, Dan, as a new head coach. You know that. Go out there and win.
Yep, exactly.
I think so too. I think he goes there. But yeah, man, we've been on here long enough, brother. You ready to get out of here?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Dan. I can't wait for this weekend, man. So we will talk basically, this weekend and get some good games in. And also tomorrow night, guys, I do have a thing coming up tomorrow night. One of our Monkey Cold Coffee reached out to myself and said, you guys bring this guy on. He's a host of a Tampa Bay Lightning show out there as well. We have a wild card roundtable with myself and Phil tomorrow night, 7 p.m. We're going to go through each game, give you the X and O's, why we think is going to win. I guarantee it, Phil will be taking Tampa Bay over the Philadelphia Eagles because he's a Tampa Bay fan, Lightning fan, everything Tampa Bay. So, guys, check that out tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Real quick show. We'll be hopping on there, myself and Phil. Yep. So, guys, we appreciate everybody hopping on. All the viewers, of course. Make sure you like, share, subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Like us everywhere. We're always out there. And without the viewers checking in, it would just be Dan venting every damn week like we usually do. So thank you, everybody out there.
Yep. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, brother. I will see you. You going to be on Sunday, Dan?
I'm going to be on Sunday because there's a lot to talk about. Maybe not Sunday, maybe at some point, but there's a lot to talk about Giants-wise.
Sounds good.
It's just going to be me probably.
Sounds good. Also, the Cowboy Show will be on Sunday at 3:30, getting you ready for the Packers game, of course, pregame at 3:30. Final game, post-game will probably be about 7:45 as we can celebrate a Dallas Cowboy victory. Moving on to the next level. So my name is Paul Spencer. Dave Yarnell already checked out. He had to go pick up his daughter. That is Dan Connor hosting the Big Blue Power Hour. Guys, this is the NFL Weekly Pickem Show, and thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week live Thursday, 6 p.m. Until then, have a great weekend, gentlemen and ladies.
Night, everyone.